Guys, what is going on? Here we are, guys. Here we are. Now, guys, today we are gonna get political, right? Because snowboard. You remember I released the whole thing on that Roma army chick trying to talk trash to Andrew Wilson, and she was trying to say that men's rights is not about politics. Please,
you've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, isn't there a saying like politics is downstream from culture?
yeah.
And then so that means it would be a cultural thing. So it is.
Yeah.
They are linked.
Yeah. Matter. You know what, guys? Here. You know what? I'll drop the
You
link.
might be saying the quote wrong.
Say again?
I might be saying that quote wrong.
But yeah.
Basically something like that.
Here, guys. I'll drop the link early because I want to have a big panel because I want to hear you guys' stories, right? But guys, once again, I was thinking about politics, right? And I think you guys have seen a lot of red pill people and a lot of people in our space get more political ever since the Charlie Kirk thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Because guys, this is a joke. It's an absolute joke, right? So guys, we'll see. Hold on. You guys will see more of this type of content. I'm not gonna lean all the way into it, but guys, this is something that us men deal with day after day after day, right? And guys, this is why you got to make yourself financially successful so you can have a buffer between you and the BS. You know, whether it's your job, like working for yourself, or owning your own business, having FU money so you can quit your job or get laid off and be just fine, or have a job where you can be left the hell alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, or have an essential job where you don't got to deal with this foolishness, right? Keyshawn, what's up, dude? Keyshawn says Democrats are the most intolerant people. Facts. Yep. I'm laughing, man. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Why let me see. Locke, what's up, dude?
What's going on, man?
Johnny Chicago is here. Red Door is here. Dante's here. Steve is here. Good to see you guys. John Carlos here. John Carlos, good to see you back, man. You know, guys, John Carlos in school. He's trying to get his degree so he can get a job and then legally immigrate to the United States. You know, so that's his
nice
5-year plan. So we'll be happy to have you, man. So let's put a 1 if you support John Carlo being here in the United States. I just wish we can trade him for one of these stupid 304s. We could have an exchange program.
Remember when they traded Brittany Griner for that other guy?
Yeah.
Dude,
that other guy is like brilliant. He knows like 7 languages, and he's in like he's like in the equivalent of their Congress now.
Yeah,
he's very talented. We actually
Dude, I have not forgotten about Brittany Griner, and I am still furious about it.
Yeah,
still,
that was a
no
really bad
things you have to put out of your mind because it's so infuriating. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous.
It's hard to.
Yeah.
It is hard to
really
with that whole thing, considering who was traded and the amount of mayhem that individual was responsible for.
And will be responsible for.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. In exchange for a person who, to this day, still openly mocks America.
Yeah.
Like, oh my, like that one's kind of hard to let go. I want to
right now.
Yeah. That's true.
God.
Let me see. Montrell is here. What's up, buddy? Tim Hicks is here. Vintage is here. Good to see you guys. Respawn, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Captain Palsy's here. So, guys, let's break some news since I have my awesome co-host here. Snowboard, I have your guy. I'm gonna redo the intro here. And you're gonna see your guy with your cartoon dude. You'll pop up on one of the intros. Yeah. It's pretty cool. So, but let's break some news, guys. Let's break some news.
I'll try to put the ho and co-host.
right, guys. If I were to ask you top 5 shithole cities in America, what city immediately comes to mind? Immediately.
Well, I was going to say Portland, but then I saw Baltimore right there.
oh, darn it! I spoiled it, right? But guys, you know more than anything else, Baltimore. And guys, Baltimore does have some nice areas. They're few and far between. But I just saw a report that like nugs are actually going up in the nice areas now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's crazy because I used to go to Baltimore all the time to go to Orioles games. There's this cool little karaoke dive bar that I used to go to all the time. You know what I mean? It was about good, 35 minutes away. Just drive up there, bing bang boom, hang out, and then drive home. And Baltimore sucks, man. I'm telling you, it just does. And this whole it's got an old school. We have to keep the soul of it. No, you don't. Guys, gentrification is one of the best words in the human
they actually need
language.
a bunch of like Whole Foods around and stuff.
Yeah, I will agree with you halfway on that because I did live in Oakland, California for about half a decade, and that place got gentrified to the nth degree. And there does come to a point where gentrification just turns everything so pompous. And here's
the thing, Locke. Imagine if you were one of those smart people who bought property and gentrification made you a whole bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? That's just the thing.
I'm not
even better if you bought a row home somewhere in Oakland for like $100,000 and then just sold it for $970,000 and then moved to Texas.
Hey,
so
okay, well that's using the system. I have no problem with that. It's just the people that live there, dude, it was like living on Mars every single day in the worst way possible. No offense to the Bay Area guys out there, but Oakland is just that place is just weird.
And it's so funny because they just recalled their mayor and their DA because they were woke. Up until 2019, they were on a 30-year crime low because of all the gentrification. And then that goofball, moron, woke mayor and that DA stopped arresting people or letting nug out. And then they were at an all-time crime high because it was so bad. The NAACP had said that there was a state of emergency because of crime. The NAACP.
And the funny thing is like Oakland could not keep a police chief for more than like 3 months at a time. I remember like somebody as a joke posted a job ad on Craigslist for the chief of police because they just couldn't keep one behind the desk for very long. I'm not. It's not good down there right now.
Yeah. Now, guys, here we go.
Residents in Southeast Baltimore sound off about juvenile crime in their communities. They brought their concerns and criticism to Acting Department of Juvenile Services Secretary Betsy Fox Tolentino during a meeting tonight.
How do you measure public safety? And what are the point-by-point definitions of public safety? Because we are not safe.
There's a whole lot of systems out here to help our kids. But when we get to this point, y'all not helping us.
Who did you vote for? You have all these teenagers out here breaking in the cars and shooting and stabbing and you know what I'm saying? Just going out there. You guys defunded the police? What do you expect? MS Best, what's up, buddy? Good to see you,
man. So. Yeah, AJ. So this is actually kind of funny. If I remember correctly, back about since this is actually on point with what we're talking about. This was like I think back in like 2021, 2022, Congress passed like this gigantic like 5,000 page spending package, and in there was like $50 million for a how do we put this? Like a culturally sensitive museum in the middle of Baltimore.
Yeah.
Like, no
The
joke.
bus.
That was in there. Like, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, no, we don't have money or we don't have the ability to be able to protect the streets and fight crime, but here's a museum for you to destroy and
Yeah.
you get to pay for it.
Crazy, right?
Well, and it's how they launder money. Those
Oh, yeah.
sort of people getting the most of the money for that.
It's true.
Oh yeah.
Very,
No,
very,
it's
very
like,
true.
yeah, good.
Here we go.
Well, thank you for joining us. I'm Kai Jackson.
And I'm Maxine Stryker. We have just received new numbers from DJS showing how many children are currently on ankle monitors or in DJS custody in Baltimore.
Oh my God.
What that matters.
Oh my God.
How many
Well, that
teens
makes
are on
my job
ankle
easier.
monitors?
Oh my God.
That'll show them.
I didn't even know that they could put teens on ankle monitors.
Neither did I.
You're a teacher at a school, I don't know, like a middle school or high school. There's all these kids walking around. Beep beep. Oh snap! I gotta go see my PO.
They're gonna make a new shoe for chicks that like will cover it. somehow, too.
Yeah.
Baltimore and across the state. We'll look into that data in just a moment.
That's right. We begin tonight with Fox 45's Keith Daniels, who attended that Juvenile Justice Summit in Highlandtown. He joins us live with residents' most pressing questions about crime. Keith?
Well, Kai, that meeting wrapped up here at about 8:30 tonight. Representatives from the Baltimore City Police Department, the city state's attorney's office, and from the Department of Juvenile Services were here, but the acting secretary herself, she was here also in front of residents. And tonight, a bit of what
This guy's got a weird voice. Well, guys, yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
He's also wearing a sweater. I don't know how I feel about that.
Hoping to get relief. Frustrated, they say, over juvenile crime and the young offenders that they say are out of control.
Yeah.
Organizers calling the meeting a juvenile justice summit.
We want answers to things. And when you tell us there's 50 kids that are the same ones that keep doing the bad things, well, what are we doing about that?
Nothing.
How long do we have to keep putting up with these 50 people?
Among the guests
Forever.
City State's Attorney Ivan Bates and acting Maryland Department of Juvenile Services Secretary Betsy Fox Tolentino.
There you
He's
go.
about to
DJS
laugh.
Secretary hit hardest with questions.
And they don't live anywhere in the city proper.
Yeah.
They probably live way out in like the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
From people
But
lined up at
did
the
you see the
mic
woman on the
with
left?
This one?
Like she looked like she was about to start laughing.
Yeah.
She's like,
she doesn't
yeah,
care. She gets her little
a
check.
second ago. She looked like
You know
she
what I'm
was
saying?
about to
She has her
start
little
laughing.
title.
It's a joke
F
to
you,
her.
I
Yeah.
got mine.
Yeah, ridiculous.
concerns
She's there as a
ranging
formality.
From repeat offenders
She lives 20
to
miles
ankle
out of town.
monitors.
Are these monitoring
Yeah.
systems in place right now? Are they monitoring in real time and notifying you in real time when something's happening?
Our GPS system monitors in real time, and our electronic monitoring system monitors a little differently, but when the violation happens, we get it in real time.
We are not safe. I'm sorry to say, but like the previous DJS secretary, you don't live in the city, you live in the county. And we live with this every single day. We park on the street.
See? She said, you guys don't live in the city, you live in the county. We live in the city.
Yep.
Yeah, they live in a segregated neighborhood.
Exactly. Yeah.
They live in a segregated neighborhood, and
Yep.
it's like the attitude that the people who live in segregated neighborhoods go, well, it's not happening near me, so therefore I'm not seeing it, so therefore it doesn't exist.
You said Glocktavistan. Oh no, that's hilarious. Hold on. 1 second, guys.
And the sad part is, even if she does know that it's happening, she doesn't care because she's got hers. I mean, she's
Yep.
got her elected position. She's making bank. She's making contacts. So when she ultimately decides to stunningly and bravely step down after just doing the strong and independent thing of not doing her job for 12 years, she's going to end up having like a position someplace with some type of nonprofit or somewhere. She's going to do absolutely nothing and make bank.
Yeah, for sure.
All the freaking time.
But
Here.
this right here,
Keep
like
going,
I was
guys. I'm
saying
right
the
back.
other day, is
Keep
part of
talking.
the problem. all these people are here, you know, protesting or complaining about it. It's not like their first time doing it. And the thing we were watching about the Australia people, they had to like petition like 50 times to get them to do their job. That inefficiency is all over the place, and that's kind of what they're complaining about.
well,
even if they have other solutions, like
it's a bureaucracy though. Like,
here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing.
Yeah,
bureaucracy, nepotism. Those are double-edged swords. Because if it works for you, it's awesome. If it works against you, it sucks. You know what I'm saying? It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and the thing is,
the
bureaucracy.
People in power don't have to do any work or be urgent. They're like, yeah, we don't really care.
Or if you're the people in power's friends, guys. Here's the thing: you think a whole chunk of ICE money is just going to like get the illegals out of here? No, there's people who are these senators and Congress people's friends. Anytime in government, when there's large sums of cash being pushed around, people are basically skimming money off of it. That's just the way it works.
Skimming? It's like it's more like they're taking like 75% of it.
Even on the level, but even on the level of a local HOA, it happens too.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
I said
that rotten to the
skimming
core.
will even happen on the level of a local like HOA and stuff.
Well, how many times, guys, do we look over HOA nightmares? You guys remember that? So we actually haven't done one of those in a while. But you remember, guys, I was going through and we were looking at all these HOAs and like just open warfare, or people getting caught embezzling money and like trying to foreclose on people's homes for stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I don't think I've ever seen you do one of those HOA madness or whatever.
We'll look at some later on tonight in the stream, because all I got to do is just Google it and they pop up really fast.
Yeah.
There's so many of them, dude. It's a lot. I mean, guys, my HOA is barely an HOA. They basically say don't have broke down cars in your yard, don't have a giraffe in the backyard, you know what I'm saying? And you're just chilling. So it's like not that big of a deal, you know? But there's HOAs, and it's always some nosy Nelly who's in charge of the HOA. That has nothing better to do but go with a ruler and see if Locke's grass is 7.5 inches instead of 6 inches. It's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So
we walk to and from our cars. We're attacked with children. A woman with a toddler was followed by 3 9-year-olds, and they threatened to kill her baby.
Our number one goal is to be.
I wonder what those kids look like.
See, she's about to start laughing. Yeah.
Guys, I'm sorry, guys. Here, I can say it, okay? Let's be honest here.
Building safer communities. Can I say, like, we really had some amazing strides. The strategies BPD has used with GVRS and the mayor.
You've been had.
Now she wants credit.
You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Look at that, guys.
Office, the work that the state's attorney's office is doing to hold people accountable, we are seeing the numbers go the right way.
Right.
Well, the issue of holding parents accountable for repeat juvenile offenders came up once again. And once again, City State's Attorney Ivan Bates said that while he stands by giving parents the service.
That guy is creepy, dude. Sorry, I can't. I just can't, you know? So, guys, here, another story here.
Just yelling keys to her. But even if she had keys in her hand, she couldn't give them to him. He was so busy punching her in the face that she just never had a chance.
Tonight, Daly City police say the suspect is in custody. Good evening. I'm Claudine Wong.
And I'm Mike Maybach. It happened late Thursday night. She was picking up food on her way home from work when she was assaulted right outside the Nation's Hamburgers, located in the Westlake Shopping Center.
New at 10, KTV's Betty Yu is live at that shopping mall after talking with the woman's family. Betty?
Claudine, her family says this wasn't an unusual stop for the 31-year-old victim. They say she came to Nations and was actually just a few steps away from reaching her car when she was brutally attacked. Nicole Malouf had just wrapped up her shift at a pastry shop Thursday night, part of her externship, when she pulled into this 24-hour Nations at Westlake Shopping Center around 11:30.
On her way out, a guy just starts punching her in the face and just constantly yelling keys and just punching her. And she falls to the ground. She gets back up, and he keeps punching her until she's able to actually grab the handle of the restaurant.
Nicole's aunt, Tracy Tang, said the suspect ran off. Police arrived, and Nicole was rushed to the hospital.
They discover she has an orbital fracture on her face. She can't open her eye. Her chin is swollen. She has a huge cut inside her mouth.
Tracy has been like a mother to her ever since Nicole's mom passed away 4 years ago. She also lost her father when she was just 7 years old.
I know she's a little scared. You know, even when I was at the hospital with her, she says to me, she goes, Auntie Tracy, she goes, I'm glad you're here. I go, yeah, there's no way I wouldn't be.
This is what happens, guys, when you get junkies on the streets. You arrest people and you keep letting them out. Yeah, here you go. Dante said it best. What you vote for has consequences. Facts.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
they keep voting for it.
And here's the thing: California's trying to do some stupid reparations law. How stupid are you, right? Like, isn't it crazy? Crazy.
They actually passed that in Oakland, last I heard.
Ridiculous.
Or they have there is no, and like the thing is, and like it's actually kind of funny because this actually goes with the title of the video here. One of the things that actually woke me up was this idea of reparations, because I'm scratching my head going, how they say, like, how can you actually do this in a way that makes sense? How can you do it in a way that's actually appropriate? And how do you say who gets what and how much? Like, it is some of the most insulting and, dare I say, racist virtue signaling I've ever seen.
The idea, stick with me now, guys. The idea of reparations is not bad if the people who were wronged were still alive. Okay, so I agree with that. If at the time the people who were slaves who were freed were given some type of compensation, that makes sense. But the moment those people died and the people who had them be slaves died, it's over with.
Yeah,
it's over with, guys. And isn't it funny how like these wokey wokes will call Christians intolerant and stupid and ignorant for believing in original sin, but the whole concept of reparations and all this stuff from slavery is the same concept that white people need to suffer for the sins of their ancestors, when 90% of white people, 98% of white people had nothing to do with slavery.
Oh, and AJ, you know the best part? Those are the very same types of people who insist on wearing stuff from Nike and from, and from Gucci and from all of these things. All of these companies which make their products using slave labor, usually child slave labor. Yeah. Where is their bleeding heart for those children who are slaves right now? They don't care. They do not care about slavery at all. They just care about getting something for nothing.
Lethal Weapon 4.
Oh, man.
That was the one with Jet Li where he was the bad guy.
That's a wonderful movie. I love that movie.
Do you remember when they break up the like trafficking ring, and they come across that family, the Chinese family, the Tangs,
and Murtaugh takes him in.
And he's like,
he's like saying my ancestors
like,
were
what are you
slaves.
doing? He's like, I can't not help him. It's just like, I understand morally where he's coming from, because he's saying these people are currently in the situation that my ancestors were in. So I have a moral obligation to help them. But That's not that to say to anyone that white people just walking around have some moral obligation. That's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah, and again, it's like these people. It's like the people who keep harping on this subject. They go, "Yeah, it's like saying this is why," and it's one of their biggest arguments. This is why America is terrible. Is because this happened. And I look at that and I go, okay, well, every single country, if you look at I want you to name me one culture that did not engage in the practice of slavery. You're not going to be able to do it.
I would say that America is great because we actually got rid of slavery pretty fast.
We did. Like, we got rid of it so quickly. And you want to know what the funny thing is? The rest of the world's had to do like a head twist. We did it so fast. It's like, wait a second. Like, the rest of the world looked at America and said, hold up, you want to get rid of slavery?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like, they were borderline offended at the idea.
And we did it through actual government and a civil war too. But ultimately, like, government is what banned it. In places like Brazil, where they just had so many slave rebellions that it was too expensive to have slavery because all the slaves were burning down the farms and murdering people. You know what I'm saying? They weren't playing games in Brazil. Let's finish this.
I really wish my mom was here.
Nicole recently left her job at a child care center to follow her dream of becoming a pastry chef. She just graduated from culinary school earlier this month and is currently uninsured. To help with medical expenses, Tracy started a GoFundMe page.
Looking at the GoFundMe, it's
20 grand.
What happened?
She goes, I didn't do anything, Auntie Tracy. I was just walking out of the restaurant.
News
that lived in a woke, liberal shithole.
And you want to know the attack? Yeah. The frustrating part is 20 grand through a GoFundMe is incredibly generous. Yeah. That is not going to scratch the surface for her medical bills.
Not at all.
That is messed up.
Shoppers at this busy strip mall.
I come here often. Okay. So that's why I was so surprised to hear that this lady got like, dang, beat up. That's cold. When I do come here, I'm usually not by myself, but I usually feel, safe.
All right, guys, here we go. Last story, and then we will jump into the topic.
A Chicago Public Schools security guard, whose job was to protect students, is now accused of sexually assaulting 2 teenage girls.
Look at that, guys.
Wood chipper.
Lesbian. Lesbians. Lesbians. Lesbian. Lesbians. Lesbians. Lesbian. Lesbians. 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 Lesbians.
Lesbian.
Guys, these school staff are just off the chain. You know what I'm saying? What a joke. What an absolute joke. Yeah, Laughing Man says there's still slaves in the Middle East. Yeah, guys, the Arab slave trade never ended. Never. Nope. It's still going on. Yep.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I believe it's in Lebanon, they actually have open air slave markets.
Yeah. Yep. And
doesn't surprise me.
And in Gaza, there's a town that's called a certain word that means Arabic and slave. That means slave in Arabic, and any of the Black Muslims that live in Gaza are confined there and can't leave. So all these people who are like, "Oh my God, Palestine!" Yeah, well, we all know how tolerant those knuckleheads are, So
over several years, and court documents reveal especially disturbing details. 48-year-old Heather Pantser is facing 2 felony counts of criminal sexual assault, and prosecutors allege that this abuse happened right under the school's nose. We're going to break down the horrifying details of this case with a Chicago-based trial attorney. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Sent a photo. Heather Pantser allegedly abused these girls between 2018 and 2021 while working at George Washington High School. And what's in this newly released warrant makes this case even more disturbing, because investigators say that Pantser actually sent a photo of herself in bed with one victim to the sister of another victim.
What?
Yeah, let's process that allegation for a second. Wow. So Before we even get into the really disturbing parts of this warrant, I want to back up because this case is very wild. This all centers around Heather Panzer, a Chicago public school security guard who again worked at George Washington High School. This is on the city's southeast side. And investigators claim that between 2018 and 2021, while she was supposed to be protecting students, she was actually sexually assaulting two teenagers.
Yeah. It's crazy, right?
Girls who attended the school. Now, according to court documents that were reviewed and cited by WGN, the first victim had apparently told investigators that this abuse started around September 2018 when she was just 15 years old and allegedly continued through December 2019. That's a long time period. And during that time, prosecutors claim that Panzer not only assaulted her multiple times, but also maintained contact with her even after the student left the school. And that is when things took an even darker turn, because according to the same warrant, investigators allege that Panzer had sent a photo of herself in bed with a second victim and sent it to the sister of the first girl. That's how detectives say they discovered there was a second student involved. And that second victim, who was also apparently a student in George Washington High, told police that her abuse...
Of course she's married. Look at that, guys. Her shirt says, "I'm missing my husband." First of all, who would marry this thing? Yuck, dude. Like, standards much?
What? Okay, I have to ask. I know this is off topic, but these tattoos are god-awful. They are lazy, and every single time I see somebody with one of these cheap, god-awful, lazy tattoos, I already feel like I know everything I need to know about them, and everything I know is negative.
That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
I saw the tattoos and immediately went, yes, you are a deviant.
Yeah.
In one way or another, you are a deviant.
Yeah. It's sad, isn't it? And oh, men, we're going to choose the bear, this and that. Okay, well, you'll never see this thing coming, right?
This happened between February 2019 and March 2020 when she was 16 and 17 years old. Now, her family had already suspected that something was off, so they told police they thought her relationship with Panzer was, quote, abnormal, that Panzer was buying her clothes and shoes, which, allegation being very, very weird. Now, the victims were later interviewed, and this is important, during what's called a CPD lock-in. This was at the Chicago Children's Advocacy Center, where they gave detailed statements about what had happened. Now, a lock-in, or forensic interview, if you're not familiar, is a scheduled, structured interview session that's organized by police where victims, often minors, can provide detailed statements about sensitive allegations in a safe environment. Very important to have this. And after that, a warrant was issued for Panzer's arrest. And according to Cook County Sheriff's Office records, she turned herself in on October 15th. After news of her arrest broke, Chicago Public Schools, they released a statement confirming that an employee had been taken into custody. Quote, Chicago Public Schools, CPS, remains committed down all leaders,
staff members, and unfortunately, we have seen circumstances with...
Yeah, guys, I'm here. One last thing. Guys, look at this. Look at this. Watch. Look.
I'm Deputy Wilson with the Cass County Sheriff's Office. I've been with the Sheriff's Office for 7 years and a school resource officer for 4 years. My favorite...
Oh, I feel safe already.
Look at that. Can you imagine her walking down the hallways of your school?
This is
she should
actually
be a lunch lady at best.
Come on. Hey.
Says her favorite class was and still is lunch.
hey, dude, seriously. Do not insult lunch ladies like that. They do not need help this badly.
So it says she's a detriment to herself, her fellow deputies, and the community she serves. If that school was the target for a shooting, she would not be able to stop it, or at the very least, remain in a sustained physical altercation without getting winded in the first 10 seconds. Your sheriff should Shame. Facts.
And you want to know something here? This is one thing that people do not understand. And I do have a bit of a firearms background here. And people automatically assume that if a person is in uniform, if they are deputized or whatever, that they are well trained in firearms. But the thing is that the standard for firearms ratings for law enforcement is surprisingly low. And I can take one look at her and tell that she cannot handle her firearm properly. I can take one look and tell.
Guys, hit the like button on the way in, guys. Hit the join button. Appreciate that, guys. Hit the super chat button for the croutons fund. Appreciate that. Look at this. Someone says the only thing that she's protecting is the donuts.
Favorite thing about my job.
Not even the donuts are safe.
And helping them through their struggles. My favorite class in school was my ag classes. My favorite thing about ag classes was the flexibility of my schedule, as well as being able to grow and create new projects in the community.
I'm going to do to you what my generation did to me, and it was negative reinforcement, and it fucking worked. I'm a child of the 70s, and somewhere along the way, we became pussies who accepted everything. No, Deputy, you don't fucking belong here. Deputy Wilson, your county, your sheriff, your coworkers don't give a shit about you. Somewhere along the way, they thought that this was a good idea for you to put yourself out there for people like me to mock and bully and shame the shit out of you. And I hope that you see this, and I hope it pisses you off, and I hope you fucking do something about it. Fat shaming is essential to get people to say, I am disgusting, I am a fucking pig, I can't be this out of shape in a profession where people count on me. There is nothing about you that I take seriously. And if I chose to be a bad guy tomorrow and stood right in front of you, you're not going to be able to stop me. You're going to have to get about 3 or 4 of your male coworkers to do your dirty work. That is where we are in America right now. Somewhere along the way, they thought it'd be a great idea not only to hire you 7 years ago, but to let you get this irresponsibly out of fucking shape. It says you don't care about yourself. It says you don't honor yourself, you don't cherish yourself, and you're going to bring that into the profession. Hopefully, you can hear past the volume of my voice, and you can hear what I say. You still are in this profession. Take some goddamn pride in yourself. Hit your fitness standards harder than you've ever hit in life so that I have to eat the shit sandwich publicly, and 6 months from now, I could do a follow-up video and say, holy fuck, this woman has become the shining example of what we want in professionalism for law enforcement. Right now, no. You are a disgusting fat slob. And because we have fat slobs across the board, male and female, it means that the rest of us need to put our money where our mouth is and step up our fitness standards as well, too. So don't think I'm happy where I'm at, but motherfucker, do not refuse to be happy with where you're at, Deputy, and fuck. Let's see where you are in 6 months. Make that goddamn difference, because everybody you swore an oath to protect is depending upon you.
This chick says, well, I have a serious issue with him shaming somebody because for all he knows, she could have a serious medical disorder. Is that not the most woman answer you've ever heard?
Okay, so like
it could be diabetic, a number of things. It may be that her department saw it fit rather than fire her because she had a medical condition that they let her work in community action role. So hold on. Look, she says, you're just going to walk around in uniform and talk to kids. It's not like you're going to have to chase a bad guy. You're a cop.
She is wearing a gear vest. She has gear on. She is, and so that automatically within itself completely destroys that argument.
Yeah.
She's not there for community outreach. She has her equipment. She has her bear mace, she has her ammunition, she has her police, she has 2 radios and a body cam. She is there for community protection, not community outreach.
Yes.
Idiots.
Look at that, guys.
Good God.
Only women say, well, you should understand her story and they should still let her do the job.
Nope.
And guys, she's a school resource. Obviously, means she works in a school. She's trying to protect the future of this country. What a joke.
Yeah, and like I freaking hate that argument. Like it could be a medical condition. I go, okay, so you mean to tell me that she is the one sheriff's deputy in the entire country who suffers from something that affects less than 0.01% of the people across the world.
Yeah.
Like it is incredibly. I'm not a doctor, so correct me if I'm wrong. But this whole medical condition and bad glands and big bone argument crap, that's like, it's only valid for like a very, very, very select few of people.
Yeah.
She is in control of this. She is in control.
Well, you
and
know,
she. What's that?
Go ahead.
No,
No,
and
go
just
ahead.
the whole thing is just like, put down the fork and exercise some more. Control what you put down your gullet. All right? I'm sorry, but it's like this whole, it could be a glandular thing. It's not.
Yeah.
You know it and I know it.
Yeah, but she can't put down the fork because she's got a severe case of pigitis.
All she needs is the nose ring.
That's so true, man. That's so true. Now, guys, let's get into the topic here, because I've said this on the channel multiple times. Guys, I grew up in Seattle, Washington, right? So, went to a woke liberal middle school, a woke liberal high school, college. And the thing is, I kind of got red pilled in my personal life because I was a nice guy in high school where I got some chicks, but I was friends with all the hot chicks. You know what I'm saying? And like the hot chicks they would always cry about the chads they were boning to me. You know what I'm saying? Well, but at least I was banging fives and the occasional six, So in college, I was like, wait a minute, why don't I be that chad? You know what I'm saying? I'll just be the guy that treats girls like absolute crap. You know what I'm saying? But I still have the whole thing where men and women need to be equal, and I'm going to be with a woman that has a degree and be educated, and there's and the whole interchangeable widget theory. You know what I'm saying? And women's rights are essential, and there's no such. Well, I don't think that there's no such thing as illegal. I wasn't that bad, but I was like, maybe capitalism, maybe there is some bad stuff to it, and we might need to explore other things, and Christians are all stupid and all this crap. And I think I finally woke up, I think in my mid to late 20s. And I think it was my last year of undergrad. And I took this elective. It was like a proto-gender studies class, right? It was like it's called Gender Roles and Society, right? And a couple things happened in this class where I realized that something's rotten in Denmark, right? So when I was in this class, I was one of the only guys in the class. I was the only black guy in the class. And there was this other guy, Shane. He was like the 6'6", football player. And he was a good old boy from Yelm, Washington. He was a conservative dude. And he was like, yeah, I think women should have kids and just be in the kitchen. So all these hippie chicks would cuss him out and call him a pig and all this other stuff. But he's the one where I told you guys that he was smashing like 6 chicks in his class. So all these chicks would call him, oh, you motherfucker, you piece of shit, da da da. But then right after class, they would go to his dorm room. And he would just be smashing chicks. You know what I'm saying? So never watch what a chick says. Watch what and who she does. You know what I'm saying? So the rhetoric in that class when they were talking about men was the same rhetoric that the Ku Klux Klan and them used to talk about black people back in the day. The dehumanizing language that I heard was like, wait a minute, I've heard this before. I have heard this before. Something's wrong here. And that's what kind of really, really set me down the pathway of like, actually, well, here, I think the whole Ebonics thing back when I was in middle school is what really, really started making me question things. And the OJ trial, I remember I was the only black kid in my school.
Oh man, OJ.
Other than my brother who said OJ did it, right? So of course, all the other black kids are like, oh, you Uncle Tom, you sell out, whatever, right? So by the time I was in my mid to late 30s is when I really was, started saying I'm incompatible with the Democrats. And guys, I haven't asked this question in a while. Yes or no? Can you be pro-male and be a Democrat? Put a yes or a no.
Not in today's Democrat definitions. No.
Yeah.
No, not even remotely close. No.
Not at all.
No way. Just no way.
So guys, look at Stacey Abrams on why DEI is key to defeating Trump. This just came out today. This is how
the president of Earth said that.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
This is how bad the Democrats have gotten. And guys, once again, I'm an independent, right? So I'm not super pro Republican. I just think that any man that has some sense is a conservative, right? You can be a conservative politically, but call yourself an independent. You don't have to be a Republican. There's some Republicans that are in the party where I'm like, what? Who are these knuckleheads? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I call myself an independent, but I'm a conservative. You know what I mean? I like conservative values. I like conservative economics. I like the conservative stance when it comes to guns, free speech, and the law. But guys, here's the thing: free speech used to be a liberal thing, and it flip-flopped. Closed borders used to be a liberal thing. It flip-flopped. You know what I'm saying? So guys, I can't in good faith call myself a Democrat or on the left. And I cannot in good faith, give you guys any type of say that you guys should be over there. There's nothing for us, guys.
It's messed up.
So story, guys. Locke, Colin, snowboard. Locke, you want to tell your story?
So I think it was, I've never been too active politically, not too much, definitely back in college during undergrad, I was definitely a liberal. This was back when George W. was in office. Mm-hmm. And yes, I did actually go to an anti-Bush rally once. But other than that, I really did kind of stay out of it. But it wasn't until around 2018, 2019, when Trump was starting to run, that I started noticing a couple of things. Like one of the big ones, believe it or not, was the grab them by the female anatomy thing. Mm-hmm. Because I was listening to that. And everyone was saying, oh, Trump does this. He openly admitted it. I go, no, dude, it was a Johnson measuring thing. Like, dudes talk like that. Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? And then it wasn't until the Koofy Koof that I actually woke up. And one of the big things was, I was actually curious because early on, I don't know how afraid everyone was. I can only vouch for myself. I was a little cautious. I was a little worried about it. So I actually did a Google search looking up recovery rates for the Koofy Koof. And America had a 98% survivability rate. It was insanely high, but all people were talking about was the opposite, about how we need to be terrified of this. And I started looking at the numbers and I'm going, dude, you guys aren't right. You guys are just messed up here. Mm-hmm. And then with all of the rampant censorship but the big thing was the one thing that just really, really, really shook me awake was the Summer of Love, because I would like I said, I was living in Oakland at the time. You ever get that feeling like you're walking around and it just, there's tension in the air, like a fight's about to break out or something, something's I swear, one night I'm coming home from work. I get off the BART train. I'm leaving the station. I'm looking around. Something's off. I feel things are tense. And I'm checking to see if I'm getting followed because, this is right when defunding the police was starting to gain some traction. No one's following me. I just book it. I get out of there. And I make it home. And I'm sitting on my porch after work. and I see 3 police helicopters. Yeah, riot broke out. A riot broke out like 2 miles from where I lived. And I'm looking at this stuff, and like Stephen Colbert is celebrating it. I was actually paying attention to Colbert, and he was making this impassioned speech about how we can give reparations and ban guns. And I remember screaming at my TV, "Are you insane?" And I went, "Oh my God, I get it now. Oh my God. Oh my God. I cannot unsee any of this."
That's crazy, right?
Oh my God. Like, and then once you wake up, it's like freaking Neo in the Matrix. I freaking hate, I don't like the Matrix and I hate using it, but it's the best metaphor. It's like you look around and you go, was it always like this? Oh my God. And so that's how I've been ever since. Like, oh my God, it's always been like this. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And also one of my favorite movies ended up becoming They Live. Long live Roddy Piper.
I think that once you look at the people that are on either side, the people that are on the left don't have anything they're trying to take. The people that are on the right have stuff and they're trying to keep.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: the people that are on the right, guys, what group of people gives to charity and volunteers time to the homeless and all of the stuff more than
rich white people
else? Yeah, the right. Here,
this was something that's I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but this was something
the
I found very interesting.
Sorry.
So there is one time of year in which the incredibly wealthy white people will volunteer their time. They make it their business to volunteer and do something for the community at one or two specific times a year. Do you know what those 2 times are?
What's that?
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Christmas and Thanksgiving. Yep. Like, you actually have to sign up to volunteer at a soup kitchen on Christmas. That's when the rich white people will go to, volunteer their time, is during Christmas. If that ain't one of the most pompous things ever, it's like you can go any time of year. You could go like multiple times a year. You wait until Christmas to do this stuff. Like, you are not doing this because you care about your fellow man. So don't even pretend.
No, but what I'm saying is that when studies actually show that, that upper middle class conservatives actually donate to charities and do other things, like not just other times, they actually give more to the poor and actually do help the poor more. You know what I mean? Like, they don't just do hashtags. And also too, the right tends to be more religious. So people tend, like religious people and organizations tend to help the poor and the needy more. You know what I'm saying? So by default, people on the right help more than people.
So I'll make this quick because this is actually kind of a funny story, because this is also a California story. I was working for a guy who he was well off. And he knew that I was away from my family, so he invited me over to his mansion for Thanksgiving dinner one year, which I accepted because I wanted a home cooked meal. Why not? And so we go there. We're sitting around his table, and his sister wants to do a prayer. She does like this 5-minute long prayer about how she's proud to be a progressive. And this whole time I'm sitting there. Now, this was before I woke up, and I'm just going, "You're only saying all of this because you're rich."
Yeah.
Normal people do not talk about this stuff ad nauseum at the table. Like, you're only saying this stuff because you're rich.
That's how it always works, though. Especially with there's always that one daughter in the group that hates the fact that her family's rich. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude.
Oh no, They were actually, like, her family was actually in on it. Like, they were nodding their heads and they were very proud to be progressive Democrats.
Yeah.
It's a real F you, I got mine mentality.
Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense. But there's always that one where, capitalism's bad. It's like, dude, just enjoy what your parents got you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's no need to be ashamed of it.
So let's check.
Party may lie in voter registration data. As national correspondent Matt Gelka explains, the alarm bells could be ringing in a majority of states around the country.
New data reported by the New York Times could be a major warning sign for the Democratic Party.
Voter registration data showed a party that is rapidly losing voters in every state that tracks registration by political party. From 2020 to 2024, the data showed a 4.5 million voter swing from Democrat to Republican in the 30 states tracking party affiliations, with Dems losing 2.1 million registered voters and Republicans gaining 2.4 million. Maryland businessman Ed Hale, who just announced a run for governor as a Republican, is a former Democrat who switched parties.
I don't see much that I agree with the way the Democrats are going right now.
Could it be because you're white and you're a male and you're a businessman? Right? That's 3 strikes over on the left. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
pretty much.
He might just be a classical liberal.
Yeah,
you know, like you were saying the other night.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't.
The 30 states include 4 key battlegrounds: Arizona, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina, where Democratic voter registration advantages were eroding. In Pennsylvania, for example, the data showed that Democrats had more than 500,000 more registered voters than Republicans in 2020. That number is down to around 53,000 as of this summer.
Democrats for years and years now have faced a branding problem, a messaging problem that has just led to people not only continuing their loyalty, but especially with younger voters, them choosing the other team.
Shedding voter registration advantages over the 4-year period may have proved to be a missed.
Isn't that funny how the wokey wokes always say, oh, the only reason why we lost votes is because black people just can't get our act together and have IDs for friggin'.
Dude, that was like one of the most racist things ever. Like people do not realize how racist that is.
Yeah, or they've gerrymandered and changed the voting, whatever. What does that matter if you change the districts? But the people should still be able to come out and vote for governor, senator, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, remember back, I believe it was either Kamala or it was Joe. One of them said that black people did not know how to use computers.
Yeah, that was the governor of New York.
Oh, Hochul. Oh, God, she's the gift that keeps on giving. Oh, bless her heart, straight to hell.
Dumbass, dude. Yeah.
Warning sign for the party. Democrats suffered huge losses in 2024 when they lost the White House and the popular vote to Donald Trump. Democrats have been trying to forge a path forward, with DNC Chair Ken Martin acknowledging earlier this week the party has work to do, but said they're starting to find their footing by taking on Trump policies and Republican redistricting efforts.
We cannot be the only party that's playing by the rules anymore. That's why I said this isn't your grandfather's Democratic Party where you bring a pencil to a knife fight. We are bringing a bazooka to a knife fight.
The day
you've been had, you've been took, you've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
It showed the Democratic Party.
What's that guy's net worth? What was his net worth now compared to what it was 20 years ago?
Yeah, millions.
So don't talk to me about playing by the rules.
Yeah, look at that.
Good God.
Let's see. Hold on. There was another one we were talking about. Colin.
Yeah.
What about your story, my friend?
Well, for me, it wasn't really one specific thing. It was kind of a kind of gradual, like very early, like certainly in my early 20s and even kind of starting in my late teens, I started realizing, and, again, I'm in the Seattle, Washington area myself too. I was living in Bellevue at the time. Oh man, Bellevue. Oh God. Yeah. Anyways, I started realizing how basically pretty much most all white collar working people absolutely hated my guts. They just hated me. They just had an absolute disdain for me because 1, I'm a white guy, and 2, I was a blue collar worker, right? Yeah. And they, these people, these are all, of course, the typical, blue no matter who, the Clintons are absolute angels, all this nonsense. And, they just the way these people treated me was just so infuriating. Yeah. And then I remember there was one thing when I came back from Wyoming from tech school. It was in 2000, actually. At the time in Washington.
Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Keep on. Sorry.
Here in Washington, I think you might remember this, AJ. Back up until 2000 in Washington, we actually had a affirmative action law on the books.
Yeah.
And in 2000, there was a vote to repeal it. And I remember, it kind of came up in passive conversation with a few people. And I remember making a simple comment about, yeah, no, that makes perfect sense to get rid of this. If any company or, even especially government, if they need to hire somebody for a position, I want them to hire the most qualified person for the job, period. And dude, the kind of nonsense that I had some of these people telling me, and then, the way they would talk down to me as though, I'm just too stupid for my own good. Cause again, I'm a blue collar worker. What could I possibly know? I of course got the same treatment to a certain extent from that wretched mother of mine. But then, as this kept going on, I also really started seeing how, every time the Democrats would do something, especially when it came to like government spending on nonprofit NGOs, I started realizing how every goddamn one of them always turned into this absolute, money laundering scam. I mean, to the point where, like, I remember one time telling somebody that, no, I refuse to give money to charity because I'm not going to pay for some crook who doesn't do a damn thing, to be an executive of this, nonprofit organization making like $320,000 a year. Mind you, this is back in, the early 2000s. So, and, again, the attitude that I got from these people, like they would just treat me as a, not even a second, but like a third class citizen.
Yeah.
And, and then of course, eventually, I got really into pew-pews and, that's that.
Oh no, a white blue collar guy that makes money and likes firearms, dude.
How dare you?
You're the devil.
Right. And then, of course, oh, man, I remember another one when, hybrid cars were really starting to be pushed really big. And, dude, here in Washington, I think by that time you're already out of the state. But, oh, man, the way these libtards would, basically shame anybody who didn't drive a Toyota Prius, it drove me nuts. It absolutely drove me nuts. I mean, of course, me being a car guy, I'm like, I would try to explain to them that, you're not quote unquote saving the planet, because you bought a Prius. Anyways, and it's just, a very cumulative thing. And, to this day, like Snowboard said yesterday, I still really, at the end of the day, if I had to classify myself as as a voter, quote unquote, I would definitely call myself a classical liberal. But when it comes down to, just a broad definition, dude, I'm conservative 110%, dude, 110%. Like, when people ask me to this day, I say it in more colorful language than I can say right now, but I tell people, I'm not a Republican, but I sure as F ain't no goddamn Democrat.
Yeah, facts. That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Good for you, man.
And guys, things like this, no kings and all this crap. It's like, you guys have nothing better to do. I mean, honestly, guys, that's just perfect example of liberals in the 60s, 70s that actually managed to get legislation passed, and these liberals now. This whole no kings rules is, first of all, you guys have seen all the reports that, like, dude, all those pictures of all those people most of those were all fake, right? And then
they were paid.
Yeah, and then what did it accomplish? Orange Man's still in the White House. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about?
Didn't raise any awareness.
Yep.
And the funny thing is, this is what I find interesting, is how they keep saying no kings. Like, Donald Trump is not an elected king. I go, okay, yeah, you're absolutely right. He won the electoral vote and he won the popular vote, which means that the vast majority of the American people wanted him in office. He was elected by the rules with which we all agreed upon. But because you didn't get your way, the other side was cheating. They're nothing but overgrown children. I swear.
Yeah. No, guys, here's the thing. Men don't like being told to sit down and shut up, and we don't like being treated unfairly. That's one thing that'll piss one of us guys off really, 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 really fast, and that's all the Democrats have. Even when we have perfectly logical points, or when we know that we're going to have to be the ones to clean up the mess, you just shut up and then fix this when it breaks. Like, why? And this is why a lot of guys aren't answering the call. You know what I'm saying? There's not. Mm-hmm. Or they're leaving cities like Baltimore, LA, Oakland. They're saying, no, I'd rather move to the South. You know what I'm saying? Buy my guns, buy my little house. We left the hell alone.
Gonna go someplace where I can be left alone. Like
Hans Gruber said, immigration is being used to weaken the blue collar guys. Yep. Facts.
That's like what the Koch brothers do.
Mm-hmm.
Like the thing is, and this is one thing I think about a lot, is how lucky it's like for all of the hate that is sent our way. I want to look at them and I want to look at these people and say, you guys don't realize how lucky you are that the people you're insulting and you're marginalizing and you're just mocking, you're lucky that they're still getting up and going to work.
For sure.
Because if those men just got up and walked away completely and just said, it's your mess, you deal with it, you will be covered in dookie, quite literally. I'm not being hyperbolic. The second like the dude plumbers walk away, you're going to be knee deep in sewage.
Yep. Damn. Snowboard, what's your story? And guys, anyone who wants to call in, hit the StreamYard link that's pinned at the top of the comments. If you were some woke liberal, you know, at the beginning part of your life, and now you've woken up and you're more conservative, guys, let's hear your story. Snowboard.
Yeah, I have kind of a different experience than you guys did with it. I was kind of like raised in a pretty conservative household, and also was Catholic. So I always was pretty much like a Republican, for lack of a better term, and I leaned right without kind of knowing it a lot of the time, and I just kind of thought that's sort of how things should be, I guess. But I will say that a lot of I do like some things on the left that they try to do. Like sometimes Republicans are a little bit too all about big businesses and stuff. So they have a lot of problems too. So I guess like ideally I like libertarianism, but we can't really. I don't think we can really make that work in a smaller country. Yeah, but I don't think we can really make it work. So,
not in America, no.
Yeah, I will say a lot of people that I think do vote Democrat, or at least maybe used to, they're people who like either A, work for the government, or B, they're like a union member or firefighter and stuff like that. They used to get kind of a better benefits package and a few things here and there when they did vote that way. But that's I'm not involved in any of that or anything. But I would also say if you did want to launder money and do scams and stuff, you would vote Democrat, because like that's where a lot of the scammers and stuff are. They're on the right too, but I didn't really have like one experience that kind of like, you know, shifted me.
Well, for like 50 years, the Democrats had a really good, I would say 20, 30 years. They had they had a really good marketing campaign. They were the party of compassion and, you know, trying to help the little guy, and these boomers. Evil Republicans want to, they support these evil corporations. And the Democrats were like the Planeteers and Captain Planet, and then friggin' they made Republicans seem like friggin' loot and plunder and the bad guys.
Like they love
loot and plunder.
Yeah.
God bless you, AJ.
The environment and buy up everything and make people hungry. But that the Democrats, they still tried to have that we are the world image, but they took it too far. And then also what happened was you can only advertise a product for so long before you have to actually show the product, right? You could only say that you're going to do something for long enough before you have to actually show the results. And they just haven't shown the results.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Hans Gruber. Yeah. Barry, he was the greatest salesman ever. Facts.
Oh, Barry. Yeah, so many of us fell for that hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
I it's like you look back at that time, and I think has anyone else ever had that head smacking moment where you go, "Oh my God, what the hell was I thinking?"
Yeah, that's when you realize
you've been had.
Yep.
You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run on muck.
I fell for hook, line, and sinker. Dude.
Yeah, and the thing is, here's the thing. This is what I have learned with a lot of this stuff. There is no shame in admitting that you fell for it.
Yeah,
there is no shame, but the shame only comes when you double down on it when you know you were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, yeah, I'll admit it. I fell for it. Because, like, we all did in one way or another.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
insane.
He was a very good speaker, but also at the same time, like in that one of those elections, one of the Obama times, I voted for Mitt Romney, but I didn't really even like Mitt Romney that much. I just kind of didn't want to vote for him.
He made it pretty hard to like him, right?
Less than two.
Yeah. I've seen him in person a couple times. He actually has a house in my town, or like a summer house, actually. And the last time I saw him, he looked like garbage. He looked very thin and kind of frail and stuff. Because
are you talking about?
I didn't like him. I didn't really
like him.
You
talking about Barry, or are you talking about Mitt?
I'm talking about Mitt Romney.
Oh, okay.
Mitt Romney. Because that's what. So, in other words, I'm saying I'm giving Obama a lot of credit. Like, he is a very good speaker and stuff. He was really good at selling it, but I didn't really buy it. But what I'm saying is Mitt Romney didn't have a better product per se.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I got to give Obama credit. I got to give him credit. The dude had charisma.
Yeah.
He had a lot of charisma. He knew and that was the thing. Like, we actually, he knew how to like reach out to people. He knew he was a good con man. I got to give him credit for that. It's like, dude, you are a son of a bee sting, but you got me. I don't like you at all, but hey.
Bill
Clinton has a similar story. Everyone who's ever met him is like, he makes you feel like the most important person in the room. Like, he's very charismatic, where it's easy for him to kind of be a cult leader type, and that's basically kind of like what he was doing in a way.
Yeah, you remember? Yeah, he went on Arsenio. He was like one of the first presidential candidates to actually go on a TV show that was catered to a younger demographic. And he went on there and was playing jazz saxophone and just being one of the coolest cats to ever run for president. He was like the coolest cat since Kennedy. And it's like, and I looked at that and I go, dude, that's absolutely brilliant. He was going on Arsenio. He was going on MTV, Boxers or Briefs. It's like he was able to tap into a market that no one else wanted to tap into. It was brilliant. And it worked. Like, Ross Perot tried to do the same thing. When he did it, it was cringe.
That's very, very, very true.
Bill and Barry knew how to freaking reach out and identify, which more power to them.
He said,
I mean, they're both evil, but still.
DKT says, I used to vote blue no matter what when I was younger. Now they don't even know what a woman is.
Oldie but goldie.
Yeah, and guys, this is we have to be political for our own self-preservation, guys. Because here's once again, let me see. Courtney Smith, how's it going? Maurice, Ken, how's it going? DKT, how's it going? Guys, once again,
I just want to say I came from a vote red no matter what type of house, I guess. So I didn't really put a lot of thought into it, but I didn't really change a crazy amount going. So I don't really have a fulcrum story like that.
I always use the analogy of over the last like 200 years. Yeah, well, around ever since the Industrial Revolution, men have built in the West. We built the biggest, best resort that there was. We cut down the jungle, built the foundation. You know what I mean? Built this amazing resort. You know, where everything's amazing. There's all this food and all this stuff to do. And women were like, "Oh, this is great. Now let us be in charge." And then it was like, well, not only that, but you guys could have wait out on the front lawn. And then as stuff breaks, we'll call you guys back to fix it. So us men are watching through the front windows this perfectly gorgeous palace that we built, and the women are, and the LDHD TVs and the illegals are trashing it. You understand? But here's the issue: more and more men aren't waiting on the front lawn anymore. They're just walking out.
No point.
And
There's no point.
Right. It's like I say, dude. Men, we build and produce. Women only destroy and consume.
Yeah, like facts. This is like, so this is how I've seen it since I started doing this. It's like, imagine for a second, like it's like you're driving a like a really nice car or like a really nice boat or something like that, and the woman's sitting next to you and saying, "I could do a better job than this. I should be able to drive." And you start by going, "No, trust me, it's a lot more complicated than you think. I got this." But after years and years of nagging, you finally just go, "All right, fine. You want the wheel? Take the wheel. Show me how it's done." And then the women, yes, I'm getting the wheel. Yes, it's going to be great. They grab the wheel and they go, how do I do this? How do I do this? Like, okay, I will show you. No, don't show me how to do this. How do I do this? Then they crash it. They crash the car. They crash the boat. And then they look at you and say, "This is your fault. You have to fix it." And then this is like, "Sorry, lady, I'm already in the life raft." You're on your own.
No, well,
I got in the life raft the second you took the wheel.
It'll be like that we're on the Titanic. We built the unsinkable ship, and at the 11th hour, the woman goes, give me the rudder," and you're like, we probably shouldn't go that way because there's an iceberg. I'm like, "Shut up, you stupid man!
How dare you!"
So then all the men go, and jump in the lifeboats. And then the woman smashes the Titanic into the iceberg, and the men are saying, "The boat is sinking." And they're like, "You cisgendered hetero men,
how dare you?
We don't believe you."
We don't identify that the book is. We don't identify as the boat sinking.
As a sinking ship.
Yeah. Don't you try to dead name that boat.
And guys, more and more guys are not having it, right? And this is why, once again, we have to pay attention to the politics over here, because they're going to ask us to come back at some point. And guys, a lot of us guys aren't going to.
They're already starting to. I mean, like it's low key, but they're already starting to. Remember that New York Times article? It's like, where are the men? And then there was like these panel videos of former feminists saying, "Men, we're sorry, we're ready to be wives now. Will you come back?" And it's like, no.
Yeah.
No, why would we come back now?
Why? Yep.
You set it on fire. We brought the marshmallows. We're having a good time while you're burning it down.
Yeah. Here's the thing, guys. Don't ever let anyone try and shame you, guys, because one of the things that makes you a man is being immune to shaming tactics. Mm-hmm. No one can shame me, dude. No one. Period. What a joke.
I stopped caring what people think. I stopped caring.
This is a thing about how the left lost men. So here we go.
I am speaking. I need my man 3 to 4 times a week.
What the fuck is this? That's daytime TV.
Do you guys really think men can get up here and say my wife is just a whole lot every now and then?
Survey shows
23% of 12th grade boys identify as conservative.
That men, and especially young men, were moving very strongly into the Republican camp.
But that seems obvious, Jen. So
Yes, it
why
is.
are they not doing it?
No, a lot of the messaging strategies that were developed to men were developed to men by white women. And I think that that is a problem.
So I think we have a problem with young men right now, and that they don't respect women, as you're seeing with Vinny. They don't respect facts. They don't read newspapers. They don't understand polls. They don't understand misogyny. They don't understand people of color. And they don't understand that immigration bill.
Because men are useless.
Broadly speaking, I feel like men have proven largely useless.
What kind of example are you guys setting for your son?
The Democratic Party has kind of a masculinity problem.
Is the fault of the Democratic Party in not knowing how to communicate effectively.
The non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced.
What? Jesus Christ. Look at this, guys. Look at that, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys. Thanks for all the Cash Apps, guys. You know, hit the Super Chat button. And guys, thanks for all the new members, man. I appreciate that. I really do. What were you saying?
Did you notice how many times she referred to men as they?
Yeah.
Like in such a negative way. And I'm looking at this and I'm just thinking, it's like, what do you mean when you call us they? Because you're making it seem like we're like these evil, like World War II baddies. I'll put it that way. And it's like, you can't even refer to us by our own gender. You have to freaking reduce us down to they.
It's crazy, isn't it? And here's the thing. Guys are too busy working to actually care. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to be trying to, protest these stupid shows. Guys, we just check out and do our own thing, you know?
Yeah, it's like, we're doing the Skeeter's house thing. It's like, if we're not working, we're just having fun. We're just enjoying ourselves because, I mean, what else can we do? What else can we do?
Mm-hmm.
What are these retards talking about? Like,
what the left is doing is attacking America. They're saying that America is systemically oppressive and men are systemically responsible.
Our country should be more fearful of.
Man, if anyone needs to get the boot through the uprights, it's this absolute dunderhead right here, dude. Straight up.
Rage.
Guys, look at that, man.
Of white man.
I hate all white people. I want
They're all
them to
rapists.
die, white devil.
You know, MAGA equals football and beer. The left equals HR and tofu.
Hexiff is in Germany.
That does not help you.
Wait, he was saying that to try to be a positive?
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah. Look.
This week, doing squats to like 220 on the bar outside for no reason. I want to thank some people real quick. I want to thank the Nelt Boys. Aiden Ross. Theo Vaughn.
So you're way up with cocaine more than anything else you can think of.
Cocaine will turn you into a damn owl, homie, you know.
Bustle with the boys, and last but not least, the mighty and powerful Joe Rogan.
Does it bother you that the news network you work for out and out lied? Just outright lied.
Ivermectin on the list, a drug used for livestock.
Yeah, they shouldn't have done that.
While he was living here.
I don't really care, Margaret.
Yes, boys. After
guys.
decades of hating on men and supporting trends like all men are trash and we don't need men, somehow the Democrats lost the young male vote. Crazy, right?
The thing is, it's like, dude,
It's
young
almost as if-
young
Sorry, go ahead.
men. Okay. This has been simmering ever since, I would say, ever since 2020 when Orange Man lost. The victory laps and everyone who's never done anything for anything, anyone or anything, doing these backflips and then trying to being emboldened to talk mess. This would be like everyone else in the class has, is a state wrestling champion, the state track and field champion, the state spelling bee champion, and then the one class clown goof or the weirdo goth kid who's never done anything else. Ha! I'm cooler than all you guys because Orange Man lost. Like, you haven't accomplished anything. You have no room to brag at all.
You ticked the box on a ballot. Good for you. Like it's like it's actually like the amount of, how do you put this? Like it's like the people who were celebrating this back in 2020 acted like they were better than everybody. And these were some of the dumbest people I've ever seen. Like, they were not interested in having a conversation. They just wanted to be right. And they went to some of the most bigoted and racist talking points I've ever heard in my life happen back then.
And
coming
also,
from the people, yeah, go ahead.
When RVW got struck down, you noticed that they came after Clarence Thomas first, and you heard more racist attacks against him from these woke white people.
So, dude, like, I actually heard like one of the most hilariously insane arguments. So back in, this was like when was this? Like, I want to say it was 2021. There was a recall election in California against Newsom, and Larry Allen, a black man who grew up in Compton, was running against him. And the New York Times posted an article saying that Larry Allen was the black face of white supremacy. They called a black man a white supremacist.
Crazy, right?
Oh my God. And I'm laughing at this going, like, crazy, this is what these people believe. It is insane. Like, these are some of the biggest racists ever.
Well, because that's California thinking too.
Courtney Smith says these liberal women are complaining about AI. Well, the reason why is because Skynet's taking their jobs. Guys, all these liberal chicks with HR, DEI, committee person,
medical billing,
admin, medical billing. Come on, man. These
education,
are
that's
Skynet
another big one.
Can do. Are you serious? Online tutor, all these moronic jobs that don't mean anything.
And
absolutely insane.
And they're even going after the avenue strolling industry as well. It's getting closer. This has actually been going on for like a last couple of decades. But it's like with the I'll just call them joy bots. I don't know what else to call them. It's like these women are freaking out, going, "No, this is going to destroy intimacy. This is going to dehumanize men, and it's going to ruin it." It's like, you're the ones who ruined it.
Yeah.
Do you honestly think that men want to pork robots? Well, some do, but like for the most part, it's like when you shame men and you end up just entertaining every Chad, Tyrone, Raphael, and all of those other guys. Dudes are going to look at robots and say, "Are you going to shame me? Okay, let's figure this out, because we need an alternative to this, because we're not shoving our you-know-whats into you-know-what."
And when sexy time comes, guys, you walk by freaking Snowboard's room. There's a sock on the door.
Oh, man. Thank you for choosing Snowboard and not me for that
one. And so by alienating young men, Democrats got to see their worst nightmare come to life, which is Big T back in the White House.
How did we get here? How did we get here?
It's too much winning.
I can't believe this country did this again.
And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more.
So this forced the DNC to now go out and spend 20.
I know guys that aren't even like super pro Orange Man. They just didn't want to see a woman in the White House, and they especially didn't want to see Kamala Harris in the White House. Guys, you remember that the majority of white women voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Women hate women, and women don't want to see a woman in the White House, period. And yet they always blame us men.
Yeah,
insane.
And what are they crying about anyways? It's like it's like what why does this keep happening? It's like you do realize the dude left after his term ended the first time, right?
Yeah.
If he was a king, he would have orchestrated a coup, and I'm not talking about 1-6 here. I'm not even going to get into that.
they're just hyperbolic, and they don't know what they're talking about. Tons of
parrots.
All Orange Man is doing is testing our checks and balances. Presidents do it all the time. They issue executive orders and they use federal agencies or whatever, and then judges, strike stuff down or whatever. That's how it works. Guys, if you actually look at FDR's track record, FDR was the closest thing that we've actually had to a quote unquote king. You know what I'm saying?
3 terms.
He was elected
3 terms.
Was it 3 times? Or was it 4 times?
It was 3, but I think he was running for a 4th, and then they passed the amendment saying that you could only do it twice.
No, that happened after he died.
I'm actually
I think he was 4 times.
Yeah, he was like 4 times. 32,
4 times.
36, 1940, 44. Plus, it was during the
That's
Depression.
too much.
Plus, it was during the war, so he expanded the government so much, guys. He basically had free reign to do whatever the hell he wanted.
Oh yeah,
so he was the closest thing to a. And guys, and even then, the actual term king, guys, we don't have a monarch. Isn't it funny how there was no king's protest in the UK? When you have a king, you dunderheads.
You've been you literally have a king.
Bamboozled, led astray,
Like,
FDR died of natural causes in his 4th term. He wasn't deleted.
Yeah,
remember, he looked terrible his last 6 months in office because his health just started withering away. But yeah.
And the funny thing is how I am not a great historian when it comes to FDR, but I find it very interesting how FDR is considered to be history's 2nd greatest president to Abraham Lincoln. When you take a look at those 2 guys, it's very interesting. Those 2 presidents are beyond reproach. You cannot criticize FDR or Abraham Lincoln at all. If you do that, that is one of the biggest affronts to a historian. If you ever try to say anything negative about FDR or Abraham Lincoln, that is absolutely fascinating.
Well, FDR, he was president during World War II. So
so is Truman.
But according to our history, that means that because we consider
we crowned ourselves the winner of World War II.
But here's the thing, though. The Allies did win. Let's be honest. In the actual sense of the word, there was a war. One side lost, the other side won. He was in charge. Therefore, they helped attribute him to the win. You know what I'm saying? But people still don't talk a lot about his domestic policies, right? And all they talk about is how he brought us out of the Great Depression. Well, that's
war did that.
Wars will do that. And I'm telling you guys,
brought us out of the Depression.
I'm putting my tinfoil hat on. But
I love tinfoil lane. Please do.
Once again, there's evidence that shows that FDR and the executive branch and the Joint Chiefs of Staff did know that Pearl Harbor was going to happen, and they let it happen anyways.
Yeah.
And wasn't it? And please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just spitballing here, but I did hear that in Pearl Harbor, the actual battleships, the warships, the carriers, and all that stuff were
just happened to be on maneuvers the morning that the Japanese came. Just happened to be the coincidence.
And they were bumper to bumper jam packed into dock. It's they were docked in such a very, very strange way that they were practically shoulder to shoulder.
No, they were out to sea. They were supposed to be there. That's why the Japanese hit Pearl Harbor, because they thought that a good chunk of our Pacific fleet, including our destroyers and our aircraft carriers, would be there, right? But then, and also, it makes sense that they made Pearl Harbor this tempting target, because as we were going to go to war with Japan eventually, right? The Pacific Ocean was not big enough for the United States and Japan. Japan needed the resources, and for Japan, Australia, and the United States, not happening. But what the United States, and it makes sense strategically.
I don't know. There's just so many questions.
We would rather
that will
have
never
them
be
hit,
answered.
have them hit Hawaii than Los Angeles or San Francisco or Seattle. You know what I'm saying? We'd rather rather have them hit Pearl Harbor than Honolulu. You know what I'm saying? Than drop bombs on there. So that's why
Acceptable losses.
Yeah. And what happened was the Japanese thought that they won this huge victory. And guys, any World War II history buffs, feel free to call in. You know what I'm saying? But there was a bunch of oil tankers in the Pearl Harbor. So when they hit that, there was all this smoke and explosions. So they thought that they took out our entire fleet. They thought that they did this huge win, but all it was they hit a bunch of oil tankers, and it blew up and made these huge explosions and caught basically the whole harbor on fire. So they were like, "Oh, woo, bonsai," you know. So,
and the funny thing is that like one of the resources that the Japanese Empire desperately needed at the time was crude oil.
Yeah,
they needed fuel,
oil
and
rubber.
Yeah, they needed it desperately, and they just blew up and the funny thing is they blew up oil tankers, right? And then the Americans came in and said, yeah, there's plenty more where that came from.
Yep, that's true.
$20 million to figure out how to talk to men, since they finally figured out they do need men.
To try and get back their male voters, they want to, quote, study the syntax to understand them.
I think it's a waste of money. Maybe these guys should spend their money on teaching men to not be such sexists.
Geez, I wonder.
That is one of the most sexist things I've heard.
Guys,
I ain't gonna lie. The only thing I'm finna increase is my motherfucking fist across your goddamn face. That's what the fuck. That's what's about to get increased.
Who watches this crap? You know what I mean?
So pretty much the view is like pretty much who watches it. People in laundromats who are waiting for their clothes to dry, guys in diners who are waiting for their pancake stacks, like people in dentist's office and walk-in clinics, like pretty much any type of place that needs public television and they don't want to pay for cable or anything like that. This is what they watch. Like daytime TV is very, very big in like the daytime workday. It just is.
Yeah. Yep. Sure.
Where they went wrong. Please drop a like on the video if you think the Democrats alienated men from the party, and comment down below what you think. So apparently doing back-to-back appearances on Karen's Gone Wild TV did not help them. Now obviously $20 million is a lot of money, however personally I still feel like they could do a lot better, am I right? I mean, if these DNC Karens want to secure the male vote, they're going to need to bring a lot more to the table since it's 2025 and men are not settling, right guys? Drizzle drizzle.
I go on a date with a female and the bill comes and she don't pick up the bill. And she said, "Oh, you're not gonna pay for it?" I said, "What?
What is he wearing?"
Drizzle drizzle. I'm not gonna pay for anything.
If you can't afford the date, just say so, baby. I know I'm expensive. I am a fine wine. See these grapes?
You remember this? How pissed off this made these chicks last year? Hilarious.
Oh my god.
Guys,
they took it literally.
The video, yeah. Richard, what's up, dude? DTM, what's up, man? Good to see you. I can't say this name. What's up, dude? I was gonna say Reykjavik, but that's a city in Iceland. So
I was actually about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Wines cost money. I'm gonna show up on that date in a $90,000 car, and no, I'm not gonna pick you up because my time costs money. Boy math.
Classic. But in all seriousness, the Democrats have really tried everything possible to make it clear that they do not give a single f about men. Check this out. This is the official list of people that the Democrats focused on and were going to fight for during the 2024 election. Basically singling out every possible group you could think of except for one.
Women.
Men.
Consider that at the Democratic Party website, there's a list under the heading Who We Serve, LGBTQ plus community, and women, but not men.
Women, seniors, rural Americans.
Look at that, guys.
One group that's not mentioned is men.
And more specifically, straight white men.
Oh, because we all know that you straight white men are the devil, right? Please.
Hey, we've been trying to keep that a secret, okay? All right. We God, we would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling Democrats
and that stupid dog.
Because if you're a straight guy,
and by the dog, I mean Kamala Harris.
who doesn't want to debase himself for the feminist propaganda, then they absolutely hate you.
In case you forgot that men are awful.
And the coddling is for the white boys.
And this broad's the worst. This broad's an absolute demon, dude.
Maybe I'm wrong on this one, but if you're gonna demonize white guys, maybe you shouldn't be wearing a white shirt while you do it.
Or maybe you shouldn't live in a country where white guys keep the whole thing running. How about that?
That's true too.
That's what's happening right now. I am tired of the white tears.
This election is going to be determined by women.
Clearly, the Dems cannot connect with young men, and spending $20 million to figure out how to won't do a damn thing when you genuinely do not care about men's issues, interests, or goals.
Oh, dude. And AJ, I just gotta say something. Oh my.
Hold on. What a joke.
All right, okay, this is I'll keep this brief. So back in like it was 2021, it's like 2021 when we were having supply chain issues and stores were running out of baby formula. Biden ended up like pretty much co-opting the military to fly in baby formula from Europe. Do you know how much money they spent on it was called Operation Fly Formula? You know how much they spent on that? $57 million. Now, these guys are trying to figure out why we are not like interested in their BS. They spent $20 million in terms of government spending. That is pennies. Damn. That is literally pennies. They're acting like, oh, we're spending $20 million. It's like you set like what? How many $100 billion to the Ukraine?
Yeah.
So don't act like you're being generous when you're trying to understand us. Jeez.
Hold on. Let me see.
Oh man, I haven't thought about Operation Fly Formula in forever. It's like $20 million is nothing.
One second. Okay.
Across the board, didn't matter what race they are, males turned towards Donald Trump. Why? Because in so many ways, the party basically dismissed him and not until the very end decided, oh, I better reach out and see if these guys are worth talking to.
Democrats look at men as just a tool for them to get back into power, even taking it one step further by enacting laws and policies that actively discriminate against men, and again, specifically against straight white men.
Certainly, there have been times where, there's no way we're hiring a white male person.
It's kind of unspoken.
Yeah, that's literally illegal.
Korg, what's up, dude?
What's going on, Korg? Yeah, like that is literally against the law.
Yeah.
And they're openly admitting. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's go over that again.
It's kind of unspoken.
And he is a white guy. Oh no, he's he's a white dude saying this, guys. This whole.
And we can't even say he's part of the HDTV because he's on a date with a woman.
Yeah, ridiculous.
There are times when it's spoken. We wanted to hire somebody in the department a few years ago now, who was half black, but didn't appear half black. And
so, guys, who are the racists here, right? Oh, we want someone black. But you aren't black enough. You don't look black.
Yeah, that's the again, it's just the amount of racism that I have seen in just the last 5 years alone has been staggering.
Absolutely insane.
There was a creative executive who was like, we're not that's not what's wrong.
This is completely insane, especially coming from the people that scream they want equality and want to put an end to racism. But in reality, they hope racism never dies since they need it to feed their bullshit propaganda.
Their propaganda and all these NGOs and use all this taxpayers' money. Because as back in the day, you know, these groups would say they would have a goalpost. They would move the goalpost, obviously.
All the
but
time.
now there's no goalpost. They just say, just run in this direction. When are we going to stop? There is no stopping. If you question why we're running, then you're a bad person.
Like, this kind of reminds me of the whole when women were choosing the bear back when that thing was going on, and they were saying things like, we will only stop when men stop being dangerous. And I look at this and say, so hold up, you're saying that you will only be happy once the forcible taking of human lives is abolished? Like, that's what you're saying. Like, I don't want to say the M word, but you know what I mean. So you will only feel like your mission is accomplished once this thing that's been around since the dawn of time has been abolished. So pretty much you will never shut up about it.
Yeah.
They made the goal impossible.
Yeah. Well, once again, if you have a goal, then that's something you can be held accountable to. And heaven help if you hold the left accountable for anything, right? And guys, I'm not trying to say, guys, be a Republican or be pro-orange, whatever. Guys, I'm an independent. Guys, just don't be a Democrat. I don't see how anyone in their right mind right now can be a Democrat. They're an absolute joke. They're an absolute joke. And by saying you're part of that party, you are endorsing some of the dumbest things that I've ever heard in my entire. Matter of fact, guys, hold on. Let's hear what are the goals of the Democratic Party? Here you go. Let's just get down to brass tacks here, right?
Like, I would go so far to say it's not my business to tell you how to vote. All I ask is that you think for yourself. That's it. Think
Okay, here we
for
go, guys.
yourself.
All right, guys. Climate change. You guys want to be a Democrat yet? Accomplishments.
Nothing.
Economy and jobs. They're trying to say they actually brought back manufacturing jobs. Please.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Gas prices. That they want to reduce the cost of energy.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
They want to have gun reform. Pass measures
God.
to keep weapons out of the hands of dangerous people. Please, right? Healthcare. Be able to make affordable healthcare. Please. Inflation.
Hey, AJ.
Yeah.
The healthcare. I fully 100% agree with that one. You know what I think it's time to do? It's time to take all the female creatures and put them on a treadmill and a goddamn diet.
Hey, you know, maybe we could figure out a way to like use the motion on those treadmills to charge up some car batteries or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Keep
know?
the city going. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, I figure with as many fat chicks as we have, if we legally mandate them to get on these treadmills and have them charge batteries, they are not allowed to complain because they're saving the environment. So it's not discrimination.
We could do like a saw type thing. Where like you know where they're on the treadmills and if they fall off, there's like a pit with spikes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So look at this. Inflation. The Democrats are committed to tackling inflation, please.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
LDHD TV rights. They stand with the LDHD community.
They got more rights than we do.
Protecting and strengthening a democracy. We are not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. You absolute dunderheads, right? Reproductive rights. They want to delete children, of course. You guys, this is such a big L that they're acting like somehow they're going to fix on their end.
That's like their only talking point.
Yeah.
That is their only talking point. They talk about that more than any other issue. It's kind of disturbing.
The Democrats are working to ease the burden of student loan debt, please.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Come on, taxes. They believe in a fair tax system. The wealthiest individuals and largest corporations pay their fair share, please.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
If it was up to them, rich people, they would be, well, I would say successful people would be paying the majority of their salaries taxes.
Well, this is the messed up part. This is what drives me crazy is the fact that they keep saying, oh, the rich people, they're not paying their fair share. It's the billionaires. It's their fault. I look at them and say, you're the one that's passing the legislation that has all of the tax loopholes hidden in the middle for their samurai accountant armies to find.
Yeah.
You are cutting them massive tax breaks, and in exchange, they keep you employed by funding your re-election campaigns.
And how many of them
you're
are
the one writing the
millionaires?
laws.
Are millionaires?
What's
right?
that?
How many of them are millionaires? Of Democrats are
All of them.
millionaires and actually hobnob with billionaires? What are you talking
All of
about?
them.
Kamala Harris had billionaires on stage with her too. What are you talking about? So,
But luckily, the recent Supreme Court decision has just put a massive stake through the heart of this nonsense by giving a unanimous decision that reverse racism is indeed racism.
This involved alleged reverse discrimination by a straight woman alleging being passed over for a job because she was not gay. They were tossed out by a federal appeals court that said she had to prove something higher because she was a white straight woman.
Look at that, guys.
It just shows you how far this extreme left propaganda has corrupted society, and this is why it's so important that men start to get political and take voting a lot more seriously. Because even when Democratic politicians do talk...
So it was a straight white woman. So this has actually turned around and bit them right back in the behind, because before we had to make all these headways for women, and women really meant white women to make inroads, and now it's backfiring on them.
it's true. Yep, they got the Karens going against them now. Even the Karens are trying to say that this DEI thing isn't good. So
talk about men and try to fake concern about men's issues, if you listen carefully, it is still just about helping women.
Vice President Harris had a few words for the men at that rally. Take a quick listen.
Men across America do not want to see their daughters and wives and sisters.
gosh, she's so annoying, isn't she, guys? Thank God she lost.
How?
Guys,
Sorry, you got...
Oh no, guys, we would be the UK right now, or Canada. If this dumbass won. Locke, what are you saying?
I mean, how, like my question is, how many hours a day is she drunk? She is drunk like all the time. Like most of these people in politics, especially the women, are like raging alcoholics.
Yeah.
So and the thing is, it's like, and I don't know about you, but the last thing I want is a raging alcoholic woman with her finger on the button. I mean, these are the types of women who will start up knife fights over cheesecake. I really don't want them in charge of freaking international policy.
Yeah.
Especially with things as tense as they are right now.
Yeah, that's true.
And mothers put at risk because their rights have been taken. I see the men here.
Abortion, abortion, abortion. Why the hell would young men give a single f*** about abortion if they can't even get laid?
Are they tired of sex?
It's that attitudes toward sex have shifted.
So no, the average guy is not worried about getting all of these women that he's not f***ing pregnant. But more importantly, if you watch more of this interview, she literally spends her entire time talking about how men can help women and why it's good for women that men vote for a woman. Even though this was all supposed to be about understanding men and the problems that men face.
Think of somebody like Tim Walz. He's successfully threaded the needle of turning the idea of masculinity on its head by showing a deep empathy for women's issues.
We are at a crossroads. We do need a positive new vision of what men can be and what men can, and men need to be able to see that.
Isn't that crazy, guys? Once again, they're trying to tell us men how to be men. Like this, they're trying to set the standard for what a real man is.
And
or
you want to know
what a good man is? Secret, what's up, dude?
And you know what the best example they
What's
keep
going
giving?
on,
they were shoving in our faces. You know who it was?
Was that
Pedro Pascal?
Yeah,
They were
and
telling
Tim
us we had-
Walz. And Tim
Walz and Pedro Pascal were supposed to be the pinnacle of early 21st century masculinity.
guys, I got one word for that.
Is it bad that I can't? No, I shouldn't. You know what? I'm gonna say it.
Just say it.
Tim Walz, dude. Like, you know, like not only is he a tool, but it's just you can't really. I mean, isn't one of his kids a tard? Like, what kind of genetics are we dealing with here? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that bad? Should I not say that? Like, come on, man.
His son is Timmy.
Yeah, isn't that
Oh man,
terrible,
that's a
dude?
classic.
And
Yeah,
now
I mean-
a word from Tim Wallace's son. Yay!
Yeah, I mean,
What a joke,
I
dude.
shouldn't be judging somebody on their genetics, what they pass down to their children, but I kind of do. You know what I'm saying?
So hold on.
Nobody's perfect.
So while we have this goofball chick's face paused like this, and it's hilarious. Secret, were you more liberal back when you were young, and then you got older and got some damn sense?
Exactly.
Tell us your
yeah.
story.
I think something. I think that we all start off kind of liberal until we become adults and start having responsibilities and start looking at life beyond ourselves.
Yeah.
It's easy to be idealistic when you have no responsibilities and other people are taking care of you.
Yeah, that's true. But what made you wake up or like switch up?
Actually, it was Obama's second term. That's when I officially became a Republican. And
You know,
yeah, it was,
Go ahead,
it was
brother.
Obama's second
Go
term.
ahead.
Because I was also subjected to identity politics, and I voted for him because he was black, and I'm not going into details. This might be the place for that. But when I saw the grift and I saw that it wasn't for us, the change he was promising wasn't the change I was looking for, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I can say I was on the plantation. I do. I mean, I don't feel bad about voting for. I mean, at the time I voted for Obama 1 because I'm sorry, like Sarah Palin in the White House. Come on, dude. Like, are
Yeah.
you serious? And then the second time, guys, I'm sorry, but like Mitt Romney, a Mormon in the White House, guys. Like,
fair point.
At the time, I was like, I will do anything to keep a Mormon out of the White House, really. And also, I drank the Kool-Aid. I thought that they would see. At the time, I thought it was important to see the decisive change for Black people. I thought that the government handing stuff over to us was a good idea. This is back before I actually, this is in my 20s, back before I actually made money and saw how much the government was taken out of my paycheck. It's funny when you earn more money and you become successful, how your viewpoint changes. You find out that you're one of the people paying for all this garbage the government gives out to everybody. But yeah, I drank the Kool-Aid, and then it wasn't really until 2016 that I started waking up, because that's when all the wokeness. Guys, remember, being woke wasn't always a bad thing, but when white liberals start taking it over and punishing people for not being woke, and including the transformer stuff into being woke and all that stuff like that, that was in the mid 2010s. That's when like Latinx became a thing and all this garbage.
Yeah.
So I woke up right around 2015, 2016.
Yeah, Doug stole my thunder because I was going to build on what Seagrip said. Once you start getting your first paycheck and really start in on your career, the light bulb starts to come on.
Yeah.
Especially with these young kids. I went to work on my undergrad in my 40s, and so I went to a lot of night classes, and I stepped up to some of these kids that were in their early 20s, and I looked them straight in the eye and I said, they need to raise the voting age to 25. And a lot of them just gave me this look of, they gave me the Greta Thunberg. How dare you? And I said, really? Voting age needs to be raised to 25. And they said, why? And I said, yeah. And they asked me why. And I said, you have no skin in the game until after you get out of school and you finally get a job and have to live on your own. Then
and
you
your
start to
brains are fully
understand how
developed.
the world works. Well, then you start to learn how the world works. And some of them will try to play this game of gotcha, and they say, well, what about the military? And I say, I don't think they should allow people to enlist until they're 25. You listen to the old no, wait a minute. You listen to the old Paul Hardcastle song 19, and he says in the song, the statistic was in World War I, the average age of an enlisted man was in his early 20s, 25, 27. If anything, between the ages of 18 and 25 is where young men are really trying to figure out, you're in that weird transition period. That's where they need to come up with some kind of an equivalent of like Job Corps or something like that to give them something transitory to do until they want to enlist. But no, I would raise all that. You want to play these games of owning a firearm is at this age, but you can't drink alcohol until you're 21. That's all BS. And to flip it over, I think they need to put a ceiling on being elected to office. Once you hit the age of 65, you hit your expiration date.
Yep.
No, not
term limits
limit.
for Congress.
Put an age cap. Once you hit 65, you are spoiled goods. Get the hell out.
Yeah, like that's one.
Did you see Mitch McConnell falling over the other day?
Like the most.
My point is, guys, hold on, is this?
Yeah.
About the military, you're kind of thinking more from like the soldier's perspective and not the actual like military's perspective. Dude, the military just needs young, tough, impressionable bodies, and like 18 is the prime time.
Yeah, that's the
I'm not
easiest way
saying
to
that
get them into peak.
Look, I'm not trying to say that it's right or that's what's best for the soldiers. You know what I'm saying? This is the thing. Like I get why you're saying that. You're saying that because that's what would be best for the soldiers to join when they're 25. The military needs young, impressionable men that are going to follow orders, that can, basically, fall off of things in basic training and get right up. You know what I'm saying? And don't really know enough to question orders.
And not only that, it's about.
I graduated from high school in June, and I left for basic training that August.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I.
And also think about this. I didn't start traveling internationally till like my late 20s, and I did a lot of traveling in like my early 40s, right? And like as you get older, you tolerate less. Like when you're 18, 19 years old, you travel with your friends, you sleep on the floor, you sleep in the car, you freaking sleep out in the woods.
Oh, I get all that. Yeah.
That's the same thing with the
you
military.
Don't care.
Yeah.
But let me hold up. Let me tell you guys a tale.
The guys in the
of
military, just
caution
real fast. The guys in the military. Think about your pay and your lifestyle when you were 18, 19, 20 years old, how much money you made and how you made it work. You're less likely to want to or be able to do that when you're 25, 30 years old, which always makes you laugh when I see, people that are older joining the military, especially like enlisting in the military. I'm like, are you crazy?
Because a lot of women do that now.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
That I've never talked about.
Okay.
Guys, Law, Colin, Duggan, NBA Secret Court, John Carl, have you guys noticed that there's like chicks in their late 20s? They'll like graduate from school and try and make their gender underwater lesbian studies degree work, but it won't. So then they'll just randomly join the military at like 28.
See it all the time.
Yeah. Cord, you were saying?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a true story that took place back in 1990, 1991. The commandant of the Marine Corps was very frustrated that unit cohesion across the Corps was becoming impacted by divorces. And one of the issues is you get a kid who's 19, 20 years old, not even been married for a year, and he's deployed somewhere around the world. He could have been sent to Japan, he could have been sent to Germany, whatnot. And he's not making very much money, and he has to leave his wife back in the States. And these women just arbitrarily decide, well, since you're not around and you're not really doing me any good, I'm just going to divorce you. And these kids don't know how to process all that, because that's a hell of a blow when you can't talk to somebody and you can't get things worked out. And so what he proposed was he was not going to allow junior enlisted to get married until they were basically upward of the age of 25. And the feminists, the women's groups, everybody threw the biggest shit fit. Sorry to swear, but that's the only way I can describe it. There was just this major screaming and gnashing of teeth at how dare you, another Greta Thunberg, to say that young men shouldn't get married. But the senior leadership has to deal with this fallout, because believe it or not, one guy can have a major impact on unit cohesion. And, especially when it comes to how young people are with their money, man, let me tell you what, I saw in Seagrip will back me on this. You see a lot of guys, 18, 19, 20 years old. They get scammed by the typical car lot that sits outside the base.
Yep.
You got some dumb kid that's got the Mustang or the Charger, and he's paying 28% interest on it, and he's screwed.
Yeah, or they come home and their whore wife cleans out the whole house and his bank account. Yep. Michael, thanks for handing out some memberships, man. Appreciate the support, my friend. Thanks for that. Guys, check this out really fast. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Hit the like button on the way in. Appreciate that, guys. Thanks for that. Hold on. Where'd it go? Why does Instagram do this? Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Here it is. Look. Let me share my screen. And guys, thanks for being here, man. Guys, we're gonna have a daytime live tomorrow at 4:30. So guys, be there. Be square. Now, guys, please remember that the daytime lives, that the chat is for members only. So make sure that you hit the join button for a membership. You guys also get custom emojis. I also dropped a 10% off my merch, members only post yesterday. So guys, you can get 10% off my merch. Guys, check this out, right?
I'm a conservative. Tell me anything you want.
That America doesn't have kings. We have a constitution with laws.
It doesn't have kings. Give me one example of how Trump is a king.
Trump wants to be a fucking king. He's denied. He's refused.
Do you have any proof of that?
Dude, he's arrested
I think they're here
American citizens. ICE has detained U.S. citizens. Yes, they have. It's been documented. Are you a U.S. citizen? Do you want to be detained?
Well,
you're not going to be detained. You know
Can
why?
I talk?
Look
Can I
at the
answer
color
your
of
question?
your skin.
Can I answer
You're
your
not going to be detained by.
Isn't this guy so full of it, dude? Look at that guy right there. He has drank the Kool-Aid.
Beta.
Look at that.
But all
He
these
is
other
so
US
angry.
Watch.
Yeah, well, you worried about being detained by ICE?
Not at all.
Not going to happen?
No, I'm not
Guess
worried
what?
about it.
You're not worried about it. Well,
What?
guess what?
Shouldn't-
It's happened to a lot of people.
Shouldn't we be worried about the 20 million people that are here illegally?
Where'd you get that number from? Where'd you get that number from? You just made it up, pulled it out of your ass? Sure, worry about it, dude.
That is the number. Are you saying that's not the number? What is the number? Well, at least he didn't beat me up. I'll give him that. I'm a conservative.
Guys, I'm just gonna say it right now. There's so much misinformation when it comes to what's going on with like immigration and the government right now. This whole there's no due process. Yeah, there is. There are thousands of immigration judges where they make rulings on departures, final orders, and stuff every single day. And there's millions of people that have executable orders that say that they shouldn't be here, and a bunch of the freaking administrations in the past did not do any kind of enforcement, and now Trump is doing a bunch of enforcement. That's it. That's it. I've done my research on this. This whole thing where they're not like this whole ICE raid thing. No, the removal people know exactly who they're looking for, and they're going to get them. So don't fall for this garbage, guys. They're only getting people where immigration judge has said you're not supposed to be here anymore. Get out. There's just leftist propaganda campaign that's trying to paint immigration as like this. No. I've done all the research on this. I can tell you.
Yeah.
And what I find very interesting is like when we were having like the hemorrhaging at the border, there was this really interesting. They try to make it seem like, oh, these are just people looking for work and trying to make a better life, and we have to understand that. It's
right.
like, and you take a look.
You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run on.
One of the interesting things is, do you know, like a large chunk of the people that actually crossed in were military-aged Chinese males? There's a ton of them that walked in. Like military-aged Chinese males.
Guys, coming from a poor country is not reason enough to seek asylum. That's not a good enough reason. Guys, I have no problem with asylum seekers and refugees, right? If there's an ethnic cleansing going on, like, a lot of them, the minorities that are in the Middle East that are Christians, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we should I'd be fine taking them in. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But guys, just because your country's poor does not mean that people have the right to come over here. Anonymous, what's up, dude? Come on up, buddy. Guys, do you guys remember though one guy that talked about how immigration won't solve the world's problems? Hold on.
Like I agree with you. Like if they go through the process, right, and they actually go through the process and do it legally, I have no problem with it. We have that system in place for a reason. But just blindly walking in and being handed a debit card and a first-class ticket to wherever they want in the continental U.S., I'm not for that. Yeah. I have no choice but to pay for it. It's getting kind of frustrating.
You hear it, guys? Put a one if you've seen this. Have you seen this? Daniel, how you been, man? Conrad, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yes. Here you go.
States say that mass immigration into the United States can help reduce world poverty. Some people say that mass immigration into the United States can help reduce world poverty. Is that true? Well, no, it's not. And let me show you why. This gumball represents the 1 million legal immigrants that the United States has taken every year on average since 1990. Now, who in the world deserves our humanitarian compassion? The World Bank has one measure of the desperately poor of the world. They make less than $2 a day. And how many people make less than $2 a day in the world? We'll start with Africa. In Africa alone, there are 650 million people who make less than $2 a day. 650 million. And in India, another 890 million people, desperately poor. China adds another 480 million people, making less than $2 a day. And unfortunately, the rest of Asia has a heartbreaking 810 million people who the World Bank says make less than $2 a day. And finally, there's 105 million of Latin America's population that are desperately poor. All told, the World Bank says there are 3 billion people in the world, 3 billion people who are desperately poor, making less than $2 a day. That's 3,000 gumballs. And every year, we take 1 million and suggest that we've somehow made a humanitarian difference. Of course, we don't pull our immigrants from these desperately poor populations, do we? These people are too poor, too sick, too disconnected to make it here as immigrants. We tend to pull our immigrants out of the better off poor of the world And Mexico tends to define the type of immigrant that we bring here because the plurality of people come from Mexico. And Mexico is poor. How many people in the world live in countries that have average incomes lower than that of Mexico? And the World Bank tells us that that number is these 3 billion plus another 2.6 billion people. 5.6 billion people in the world who live in countries with average incomes below that of Mexico. That's 5,600 gumballs. And so what is it that the elites are telling us? They're telling us that when we take this 1 million immigrants, that we somehow or another are tackling world poverty. And we have to do it regardless of the effect on our unemployed, the working poor, the most vulnerable members of our society.
Exactly. Blacks, Hispanic Americans, right? Southeast Asians, right? Who aren't typically rich or middle class. They tend to be on the poor side. Homeless veterans, right? The people that are in recovery or like out of prison that are trying to make their lives better, right? Those are the people in our country that are affected the most by letting these dunderheads in here. You know what I'm saying?
Regardless of the effect on our natural resources. Even if we went by the most radical proposals in Washington, which are to actually double our immigration to 2 million a year,
like Canada did,
which would totally overwhelm our physical, natural, and social infrastructures, we couldn't make a noticeable difference. And we may be really hurting the impoverished people of the world because the million that we do take are among the most energetic, often the better educated, certainly the most dissatisfied people that if they did not immigrate would be the agents for change to improve the lot of all the people in these countries. The true heroes in the global humanitarian field are the people in these countries who have the wherewithal to immigrate to another country, but instead stay in their countries to apply their skills to help their fellow countrymen. Unfortunately, our immigration system tends to entice these very type of people to abandon their countrymen. The impossibility of making even a dent is actually worse than it looks here. Because last year, when we took 1 million immigrants, these countries added, births over deaths, 80 million more people into the impoverished population.
Whoops.
And this year, Congress is bringing in 1 million legal immigrants. And this year, according to the United Nations, these countries are expected to add another 80 million people. And next year, you can be quite sure that Congress, unless stopped by the American voters, will bring in another 1 million immigrants. And these countries, unfortunately, will be adding another 80.
Look at that, man. Hobgoblin, dude, there's plenty of reasons why veterans are homeless, dude. There's plenty of reasons.
Yeah, and
PTSD,
veterans,
mental illness, drug abuse, combination.
Right.
Hold on. The military guys. Do you know how many guys? And Steve M can attest to this. Korg and Seagrip chime in too. The military does this thing where they they make benefits available, but then make you have this mindset where you feel bad for taking them. You guys know how many of my military friends are like, oh man, I don't need my disability or could get hired. They've been told that they can get hired disability, but they just don't because they feel like they don't deserve it, or that, you know what I'm saying? It's this weird thing. It's like how you have a job where they give you time off, but then encourage you to not take it. There's so many military guys that don't take the benefits that they're entitled to. Guys, I don't use the term entitlement or deserve. But the benefits that you veterans get, Seagrip, Korg, that you guys deserve, that's the least that they can do for you. The least. It's absolutely insane. The fact that there's guys that would rather live in the woods and not feel like they're a burden or not feel like they're gaming the system than actually go out there and go to the VA, work with some worker person, you know what I'm saying, and get their benefits so they can get a place to live. Who was saying something?
In 2013, the VA did this. Service connection initiative where they hired all these private consultant firms to figure out where the VA is compared to where it should be. It should be on a regional level. And once they performed that, the number one position that they, believe it or not, that they had to hire at these hospitals was social workers, because so many soldiers or so many veterans, they were going there. There were programs available, but they didn't know how to navigate the hospital, and they didn't know how to get to where they needed to get the services. And that's a lot of
bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is a pain in the ass, and you screw up one little bit of it, and they punch you to the end of the line, and you got to. And guys get frustrated with that.
Yeah, I honestly believe
that's. Oh, I was going to say that's one of the things the modernization efforts have helped with.
Yeah, all you guys that have been deployed. If you are deployed anywhere near a combat zone, if you've been injured in a major way serving this country, or if you've been deployed in a combat zone or in any type of combat situation, you shouldn't have to work for the rest of your life. Now, I'm not trying to say that you should live in luxury, but they should means test to where you have enough money to where wherever you live, you can be taken care of. The fact that we have to have wounded warriors, now Wounded Warriors does a great thing, but the fact that they have, I'm not talking bad about them because they do a great job. But the fact that
you're criticizing the fact that they have to pick up the slack.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's an absolute travesty, man. It's ridiculous.
You guys,
and it's not easy.
You guys would
process.
never guess. You guys would never guess which society took the best care of their veterans ever.
Who's that?
It's just take a wild ass guess.
Germany.
Nope.
England.
Nope.
I don't know.
One more. The Romans.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Roman soldiers who managed to reach retirement, oftentimes they were used as a tool, and be very careful how you construe this, as a means, I should say, to expand the empire. So AJ's a Roman soldier, and the empire is working on expanding, and his last outpost happens to be in northern Tunisia. And then when it comes time for him to retire, he gets a stipend, and they say, you're going to take a plot of land and you can live out there if you want to. Well, hell, I already married a local woman. I've got 3 kids. I like it here, so I'm going to end up and retire here. And that's how that was part of the way that Rome was able to expand its empire. But they took very, very good care of their veterans.
Yeah.
You can go back to everybody's familiar with how Vietnam was in this country and how the veterans really had to fight to get the VA cleaned up. But I always like to go back to World War I.
Yeah.
Where General Patton fired on, or he wasn't a general, he was a lieutenant, fired on rioting soldiers who wanted their pensions from fighting in the war.
I saw that. Yeah. Look. See, Red Door says her husband's a Vietnam vet and never claimed disability. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. See, that
he needs to, because he can get a hellacious amount of back pay.
Yeah, that mindset right there. Like, I understand where he's coming from, but that was pushed. That kind of was pushed on him. That kind of, I don't need the. I'm not taking from the. I'm not begging no one for nothing. That's absolute clown world. That is clown world. He was in Vietnam running through Agent Orange and all this craziness. You know what I mean? Stepping on booby traps and friggin' all this foolishness. You know what I'm saying? And didn't get any. He shouldn't have to apply for it. He should be just come home, eat some good food, sleep in a warm bed, and start getting checks.
Well, look at those guys in Iraq that were ordered to stand next to the burn pits. That's the military's favorite game. Here, burn all this nasty crap, and if you leave, you're going to get written up.
Korg, what's the new Korg and Secret? What's the new base that's turning into the new Camp Lejeune? It's a major army base.
Camp Lejeune is the Marines.
Oh, sorry, but it's a major base. And they figured out that they dumped a bunch of Agent Orange there in the late 70s and some other chemicals.
Fort Benning.
I think so, but there's a lady that I used to work with, and her husband just passed away. He had all types of cancers. He was all messed up, and he was a tank driver. So they would do maneuvers, and they would rumble those tanks out in the middle of the woods, off the base, and then they would sleep in sleeping bags on the ground. You know what I'm saying? And guess what was in the ground?
Oh.
So he actually beat lymphoma once in his 50s, and then he had thyroid cancer, beat that, and then he had he just passed away from lymphoma. So in that Camp Lejeune thing, say again?
Oh, my oldest brother was in the Seabees, and they were doing some stuff with burn pits back in the 70s. I've been on disability after somebody railed on me to file, and then he actually filed about 2 years ago. Believe it or not, after Biden opened everything up on it, they've taken care of a lot of his medical. He got a lot of compensation for it, and he said, hell, they're even going to give me hearing aids. I said, frickin' go for it.
Yeah, I'm going through that process now.
Good job, man.
It's an uphill battle. I'm actually going to have to, get with a lawyer later this week.
Hey, guys, and Steve M, if you want to call in, buddy, guys, Steve was thinking about making a channel to help vets because Steve knows he knows the ins and out to this. So he's helped multiple veterans get through the VA and get benefits. So Secret, reach out to Steve M in the Discord. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he can help you out. He has this whole he can talk you through everything. Any one of you vets that wants to help Steve M in the chat is more than willing to help you out. So he goes by Steve M in Discord. Join my Discord. Find him on Discord, and he'd be more than willing to help you out. Steve, matter of fact, even drop your email if you want. And guys, we've talked about it offline about how he's helped so many guys. And he even figure stuff out, like how to ask for things, what paperwork to put in, because they don't make it easy. And guys, it's a travesty how veterans are treated. It's bad enough that with that we're in a society now where veterans hardly get any respect at all. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
No, they're seen as perpetrators by a bunch of people.
Yep.
And I was gonna say, I'm not joking, AJ. I went to Portland the other day. Coincidentally, I was there for that the No Kings rally that was in Portland. I don't know if you saw it in the news.
Yeah.
How'd you get in this country with that funny accent?
Yeah, I
know. Did you hide in somebody's trunk?
Listen, wait a minute.
Excuse me.
Something's wrong with that car as the speakers are blaring. Get him!
I'm sorry, it wasn't the trunk. Did they put you in the boots?
Boots, yeah. That's how they got me. But no, I was talking to these people, man, and I was just like, they are the most entitled, and they're all Democrats, by the way. They're the most entitled, all white people. They're all white people. I did not see a person of color, as they say, in this whole crowd of people. And they were and honestly, I was talking to them and they're like, I had to tell them, like, guys, you don't even know what a king is. You have no idea of, like, guys, you wouldn't even be allowed to do what you're doing if you had a king in charge of your nation. Your head would be stuck on a pike outside the White House if you think you could get away with this under a king.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely ridiculous, man. Like, these people.
Yep.
And they're all Democrats. Like, it's gross. These people are so gross.
Yep, it's true. Hey, so Anonymous, now that you're here, you want to tell your story? Well, let's watch the rest of this, and then you can tell your story about going from woke to having some goddamn sense. All right?
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys. Thanks for all the membership, guys. Thanks for all the super chats, guys. Thanks for all the cash apps, guys. I appreciate that. So
And AJ, you guys got that link? Play that link that I put up in the chat, in the
Yeah.
private chat. Play that link.
All right.
3 million people into these impoverished nations. We could take 5 million a year, but we'd never get ahead of what's happening in these countries. Not in this century. Don't you see? Immigration can never be an effective or significant way to deal with the suffering people of the world. They have to be helped where they live. 99.9% of them will never be able to immigrate to a rich country. There's no hope for that. They have to bloom where they're planted. The only place that 99.9% of these people can be helped is where they live. Let's help them there.
Simple, right? Right, guys?
Yeah.
Simple. Here you go.
Friend's little girl what she wanted to be when she grows up.
Oh, yeah, I
She said
remember
she
this.
wanted to be the President of the United States. Both of her parents, liberal Democrats, were standing there. So I asked her, if you were president, what would be the first thing you would do? She replied, I'd give food and houses to all the homeless people. Her parents beamed. Wow, what a worthy goal, I told her. But you don't have to wait until you're president to do that. You see, you can come over to my house right now and you can mow the lawn, pull weeds, and sweep my driveway, and I'll pay you $50. Then I'll take you over to the grocery store where that homeless guy hangs out, and you can give him the $50 to use toward food and a new house. She thought that over for a few seconds, then she looked me straight in the eye and asked, why doesn't the homeless guy come over and do the work and you can just pay him the $50? I said, welcome to the Republican Party.
There you go, guys. There you go. Absolute facts.
Unbelievable.
So Anonymous, man, tell us your story.
Well, I mean, I've got to say I did switch pretty early, but like probably before I was 20. I used to vote for the Labour Party, which is like the Liberal Party, Democrat Party in the UK. And this was when like when all of us were like in Iraq and everything like that. And I just thought like, oh,
Guys, can I just show you guys Anonymous's early days in England? You ready?
Is an Englishman, for he himself has said it, and it's greatly to his credit that he is an Englishman. That he is an Englishman.
So good.
Sorry, guys. I'm gonna mute. Keep going, Anonymous.
No. No, it's just been like I used to think like these people and just be like, if we just if we just let everyone in, if we just gave money and all this kind of, and it's exactly what the professor there was saying. It's like it's literally impossible to help everyone if they don't help themselves. And it's like it's why I'm a big fan of this old politician called Enoch Powell in the UK, and he always used to refer to the white man's burden, which was like a common saying in England, where it's like it's our job to go over and fix these places, and it's like it isn't our job. Our job is to sort out where we are. And all these other places have to sort out their own damn stuff.
So, what were some of the silly beliefs that you used to believe in back in the day?
Well, I just used to think you could be like, oh yeah, we can just go and like if everyone just came, and they would change and just be like, oh, they're going to be just like me,
yeah,
you know, or let's just give all this money away and it's going to fix, like exactly what like that little girl that Reagan was just talking about, or the most ridiculous stuff that now that I'm older I see is ridiculous. Just throw money at a problem and it will fix it. That's not how problems are solved.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem with a lot of these Democrat people, is that they treat everything so simplistically, and it's just not that way.
Well, they also act like everyone's the victim and not the volunteer. Guys, by the time that you're in your 40s, I think that everyone here on this call, other than John Carlo, is over the age of 40. Guys, put a 1 if you guys agree that if you grew up in relatively middle class, by the time you're 40 years old, you are exactly where you want it to be. You had so many opportunities. I can understand if you grew up in abject poverty, like in Appalachia with the opioids and the fracked water, or if you were like in like the hood, fine. But if you grew up in the suburbs in a nice kind of rural small town, working class town, middle class town, guys, there's no excuse. But keep going. As Steve says, for any vets out there who haven't filed a claim, wants to call 1-800-827-1000, like 827-1000, tell them you want to file a letter of intent, and that starts the pay clock. Yeah, thanks for that advice, Steve. You know,
nice.
guys, hit up Steve, man, because he knows all about this stuff. So thanks, Steve.
Seriously, garlic croutons, dude.
Yeah. So, keep going, Anonymous.
Yeah, and it's like I went to so I think there was one thing that really changed my mind when I went to go and volunteer at the Labour Party. I went to volunteer at the headquarters there, right, in London. And when I got there, these people were like, they were full of like such bile for like the working class people.
Yeah, Colin has said the same thing.
They honestly, these like middle class people, because I grew up in like government housing, like just dump, right? And
what are you talking about?
Yeah,
I don't believe you. You white guys, you wherever you white guys go, the heavens open and gold bars fall from the sky. What are you talking? Well, you just have a secret club where you guys just hand each other everything. Hey, you guys remember Eddie Murphy on SNL? Where he dressed up as the white guy. You remember that?
Yeah.
And everything.
You're blowing the secret. Knock it off.
Yeah. Don't tell him a secret handshake.
Yeah.
Oh, this might be a copyright, but hold on. He goes, "Here, dude. Just take it."
What are you doing?
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm paying for this newspaper.
Yeah, like it's.
What are you doing?
I'm buying this newspaper.
That's all right. There's nobody around. Go ahead, take it. Take it. Go ahead, take it. Yeah, take it.
And then he walks up to the thing, the crosswalk, and it just turns green for him. Have you seen this, guys? Guys, here. You haven't
I saw
seen
it when
this?
it first aired.
Guys, this is one of the funniest things you will ever see, dude. Straight up, man. This is so hilarious. So, what? Hold
It's a
on,
surprising
guys.
twist today, and a
All right. Now I saw this story. Hold on.
Hudson courtroom. The second former Hudson teacher charged with sexual assault of a teen she nannied and his friend unexpectedly waived her preliminary hearing.
Lou Raguse was in the courtroom when it happened, and he joins us now with an update on the case and where they go from here.
Usually having sex. That's her, dude. Look at that. Anyways, Anonymous, keep going.
Yeah, and it's just that when I went and talked to these people, they hated the working class because they couldn't convince them that they needed the government. They like when I used to go and talk to people who were working class like myself, and they thought it was weird that I was in with the Labour Party because a lot of working class people were actually conservatives, and they were just like, we don't want to be given free things. We just want to be given opportunity and not looked down upon like we're just scum.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's how a lot. And I noticed this in like the BBC. Whenever I look at the BBC and like they talk about like people like TR, you know, and they have absolute disgust for these people that are just like, just leave us alone to work hard and stop hindering us at every milestone and stop giving our money away.
Yeah,
people who don't deserve it.
Yep.
Well, here's what I always say. It's easy to be generous with other people's money and cavalier with other people's security.
Yep. Margaret Thatcher said that. It's
Oh, she
easy.
did?
She said it's the funny thing about spending other people's money is that you always run out of it.
Yeah.
Here we go, guys.
You guys believe we're on stolen land?
Yes, I do.
What's the solution to that?
The solution to that is acknowledging the land that we're on and doing what we can to support and help the communities that existed here before us.
Yeah, I think we do, don't we?
How do you? I think we can do more. In which ways do you think that we do?
Well, you know, the tribes and the lands that they're given, like the Indian tribe lands and the casinos and all kinds of stuff that we kind of give them and let them have, a lot of it tax-free, and I think we kind of acknowledge it.
But see the language there of we let them have, right?
Yeah.
It's we didn't own this land at first. This isn't our land
Yeah,
to
but you-
allow them access.
Yeah, and I think you're right, but I think you can say that about every single country in this world. So
Yeah.
why are we so focused on America and not like Mexico?
Well, we
Mexico's
live here.
stolen land as
There-
well.
Yes, absolutely. But we live in the United States,
Yeah.
and we do what we can.
So
in
why
the
don't you
countries that
leave?
we live in.
Yeah.
Of course, there's problems everywhere. There's stolen land everywhere.
Do you think that like indigenous people are treated the best here than they are anywhere else in the world? Like they literally still have slavery in China. They still have slavery in South America. They still have slavery. I mean, the cartels basically run Mexico.
Even if we are doing the best, is the best enough? I don't
So what's
think
like
so.
what's the goal that would make you guys feel satisfied?
I think we need to have way more natives within the government. Need to be listened more.
Are we at all proud to be Americans though? Like, are you proud of America? You're not.
Then leave. Get out. Here, they need to spend 5 months in Lebanon, and they would come running back.
Proud to be in America?
I would want to be proud to be an
Do you think
American.
people in China should be proud to be Chinese?
I think we're focusing on America here. I don't think global.
How are you not proud to be in America? This is like the most free country that you can do this. Even if like the current president, you go to some countries, you can't do this to the current president. You get killed.
But how do we say that this is a free country when fathers, families, wives, children are being deported on their way to school? People are being stopped on their way to
Because they're not
the store.
American.
People are just being harassed and kidnapped from their homes. How do we feel that that's a free country?
Yeah. So you're talking about the the illegal immigrants being deported, right? I think what we should be mad at is 4 years when Biden and Kamala just let the border be open, where anybody can come in, where it's like we don't know who's good, who's not. I'm sure there's a lot of good people coming over. But
What
like
defines good and bad?
people that want to come here for a better life and be part of be part of the society and be a good contributor to society. Okay, no matter where you're from. But the bad people are the ones that are like the cartels bringing drugs over, the fentanyl crisis in Portland. That comes from the border. Do you guys believe we're
Look at that, guys. Dunderheads. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Oh, secret. Look at this dunderhead.
So I had to jump on here and make a TikTok because I'm in Wichita, Kansas. And I just rode through the No Kings protest. There was no black people out there. It was all white.
I wonder
Some
why.
browns.
Yeah.
Just few speckle of brown, but there was no black people. And I was stopped at the stoplight and I got overwhelmed.
Jesus, here we go.
There was a white lady and she had her sign. And I said to her, because she came up to the car,
Of course she did.
and she said, "Are you upset because we're protesting?" I said, "I'm proud." I said, "But the fact remains, as a black woman, when we were telling y'all, y'all didn't listen to us." And she started crying and she said, "You're right.
Jesus. I'll take things that
We've been fighting this fight for years. For years." So I had to jump on here and make a TikTok. 'cause
Now,
I know
guys,
what you're talking-
this is a chick. She actually goes, I remember back when I was young and things were segregated. She's 45 years old.
That was my question.
Oh my god.
Where's the tears?
Wait. Hey, Secret.
I'm
Do
trying
you-
to
you're-
wrap my brain around that.
Yeah, you're a bit older
I'm
than I
54.
am, but do you remember singing "Wade in the Water" when you were a little kid? Because I certainly don't.
Wait,
What is she
as a matter of
talking
fact,
about?
There was this time in the 80s. No, I'm just joking. No.
Someone says she's 20 years younger than me. The only segregation she saw was on an old TV show. Here we go, guys.
So we know both world wars were just giant class wars that were fought due to the inequalities brought on by capitalism being introduced to Eastern Europe.
Anyone want to be a Democrat still? Anyone? Here we go, guys.
Darling, no, you couldn't be further from the truth. It's time to play everyone's favorite game of Let's Educate the American in the room then, shall we? Because no, both world wars were not fought on the grounds of capitalism versus communism after communism was brought into Eastern Europe. Not in the slightest. What were they fought on? Simply imperialism. If you don't believe me, let me do a bit of an explanation in under a couple of minutes and hopefully you'll be able to understand it. So, let's start with the Great War. World War I. Now, all of the big superpowers in Europe, it's a bit of a bubbling mess at this point, right? They have been silently having an arms race for about 30 years.
They were empires.
Namely Russia, France, Germany, and Great Britain. But let's focus on Germany and Great Britain, right? Every time Germany would bring out one new ship, Great Britain, because we couldn't keep up with Jerry and his fabulous designs, we brought out 2 ships. And suddenly all of the empires within Europe now have these giant armies, navies, some even having air forces, but no way of using them. But then a Serbian decided to go and kill an Austrian Archduke, Franz Ferdinand. Don't get him confused with a rock and roll star. Very different person. Now, because it took Austria forever to then get mobilized and get into Serbia, this gave all of the other empires a beautiful opportunity to go, right, boys, time to pick sides. Because Austria went to war with Serbia, Germany then goes to war on behalf of Austria. Because Serbia is now being under attack by Austria and Germany, then Russia gets involved on Serbia's side. Because Germany's got involved, Great Britain gets involved, and also France. And then Italy and Greece decide to get involved because also they can expand their empires. The Ottomans think, well, hey, we can now get some authority now in Northern Africa and in Europe again. So everybody goes to war. We have the Great War. It was all imperialist. Now, because of World War I, we then had the fallout known as the Treaty of Versailles, which is essentially where Germany was made to feel that they were the sole result and blame for World War I happening, which is incredibly unfair. And many historians will tell you that the Treaty of Versailles was woefully painful for Germany.
If you say that, everyone's like, oh, how dare you, right? You must support Mustache Man. No, no.
Why me?
I can be objective and say that the French caused all the problems, right? The French are the reasons for World War II, and they are the reasons for Vietnam. Let's be honest, right?
Oh, absolutely.
They wanted
Especially Vietnam
to clap Germany's cheeks in the Treaty of Versailles because once again they got their cheeks clapped in World War I, right? Then World War II came, Mustache Man clapped French cheeks, right? Then they asked the Vietnamese to help them fight the Japanese and French Indochina. They promised them. They said, you will get your own country, your own statehood if you help us fight. The Vietnamese said bet and did it. Fought with the Anzacs, right? Fought with the British. Fought with the French to fight the Japanese. The war is over. They said, just kidding, right? You know what I mean? We want our colonies back. The Vietnamese said, went to war. Guess what happened? The Vietnamese started clapping French cheeks, and the United States got involved. Because what a joke.
Then you add in the Wall Street crash, and then suddenly Germany just goes into a complete clusterfuck, which means the world's most famous failed Austrian artist can then rise to power, stating that Germany was not to blame for World War I, and that he was going to rebuild Germany's empire. And then he did all of the incredibly nasty stuff behind it, but it was purely imperialistic. That's why he started with Czechoslovakia, then went into Poland, then took over the whole of Europe. But he didn't win, did he? No, because we then went to war with him, and we did it at the expense of our own empire. The Great British Empire, the largest empire to have ever existed, was completely decimated just so that we could win World War II. Get it? It's not communism versus capitalism. That came later with the Cold War. Please, darling, next time you come on social media, make sure you get your facts right. I mean, as much as it was amusing and entertaining to hear your side of the story, it was purely imperialistic. Nothing else. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a fabulous day. And as you were.
So we know both.
Where are we? Hold on, guys.
I have a question. Can you tell me what category of fat I fit in?
So it's based on your shirt size. So if you are a 1 or 2X, you are small fat. 3 to 4X, you are mid fat.
Sorry, guys.
5 to 6X, you are super fat. Is based on what level of privilege you have in the world. So someone in a small fat category may not struggle getting on an airplane, but someone in a mid fat or super fat may not be able to use even the airplane extender. So that's where that comes in, and like the privilege levels of like what fat means to different people.
I have a question.
Guys, okay, let's there's
what
4 of
category
them?
of fat I
There's 3 of them. Okay, so let me show you guys how the conversation before the video started, back in the planning phase, right? This one in the black said, and the middle one was like,
lesbian,
and then the one on the right.
Dude, I
Someone
can't
says, have
believe...
you guys ever seen Wall-E?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
I can't believe these people are talking about privilege, right?
Yeah.
When they're so fat and shoveling all this junk in their... Like, dude, in history, you had to be the extreme amount of privilege to be that size.
Yeah.
Even now, like being that fat, that takes work, guys.
Yeah, that's a lot of calories. Someone says, nothing says privilege like having the resources to eat enough food for 3 human beings every day. And then talk about how you're victimized. Someone says, calling a fitting in an airplane seat a privilege is hilarious.
They're oppressed because these seats are made for humans.
Someone says, it's strange that gluttony has become a disability. It used to be a sin. Facts. Facts. Look at that. Someone put the Wall-E thing. I have a couple more clips, guys. Here we go.
If I am in this country and I cannot abide by the law of this country, I think I should be deported as well. Why do you come to a country? You know the rules, you know the regulations, especially when you come illegally. You know everything is on the book. If you cannot follow that, if you're not okay with UK being a Christian country, maybe go to a Muslim country then. Yeah. There are many, there are plenty. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm doing it. I don't see anything minority, unfortunately. So, but yeah, it is what it is.
So on one hand, as an immigrant, you've given a voice to other immigrants who perhaps feel the same way as you, but they're scared to speak out.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, I'm sure you have some people who really hate you, who really...
Because they're all a bunch of betas and morons.
Well, AJ, I have to tell you, if I'm not, this guy sounds like an Indian, but if you're a Muslim guy, do you guys know what the crime is for being an apostate?
Yeah. Off with your head, right? Yeah.
Exactly. How do you deal with that?
Well, I've got a lot of death threats. Unfortunately, the police won't help me. The police aren't here to help me. They've got I do get a lot of death threats, and it is only from my own community. So that is a different thing. But yeah, there isn't any. How do you say? I know you're saying there are silence, minority or majority, you can call it, from my own community. But the problem is, I don't want them to be silent anymore because it's not helping anybody. I can sit at home and I can just avoid all of this, and I can enjoy my life. I can have a very good life. But because I'm doing what I'm doing, I've lost my job from the council because they said to me, unless you stop saying that the white people are racist, you can't have this job. And unfortunately for me, I've got too much gratitude to the country and towards the white people. So I think because of that, I wouldn't stop. But yeah, no, you talk about silence, majority or minority. I don't think there's any, because I do get occasionally messages from the people from my own community saying, oh, we're very proud of what you're doing. We wouldn't do it, but you're doing it. To those people, I've always said, why don't you come and do it with me? Why don't you come up? Because this is the time. If you're not going to do it now, there is too much divide already. And that is because a lot of communities, rather than saying that, okay, if somebody looks at a Pakistani, what it is that we are representing. But if you're a Pakistani, you come to a country, what it is people say about you when they look at you. Unfortunately, what the Pakistani community has done, there is nothing positive, unfortunately. It's very unfortunate because I am a Pakistani. But unless more people come out and do what I am doing, it's not going to help nobody.
All right, man. Based, right?
Yeah. So he's actually a good man because he realizes that even if I stay quiet, this will actually benefit me and my community, in quotes. But instead, he sees what's wrong and goes against it. So that's actually the sign of someone who's actually a great person.
Here you go.
That ass bitch, that's my car. I know the law. You can't touch that. How you gonna try to take my ride? That ass, I'm about to flip out. Get the fuck out my way. I ain't scared to go to jail because that ass.
Introducing the Real Rig Series, Nissan Altima Repo Edition. A battle for the beat-up sedan they've been late on since 2013. Comes with dented Altima featuring removable shower cap roof upside.
I figured
It is anonymous.
Since you were here, anonymous, I'd show you.
Oh my God.
I figured since you were here,
you got to get him one of those.
He has a whole bunch of them too. Hold on. He has a.
That is
you got to get him the whole collection.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yo, my car be knocking, smoking, ain't go nowhere. This like the 5th time this happened. I'm dead ass about to flip out. Y'all can't make a motor that works or something?
The Hyundai Sonata. It'll spend more time at the dealer getting engine replacements than driving.
Yo, wow.
Real Rigs, 2013 Hyundai Sonata with unlimited mile engine failure warranty.
That is absolutely
Silverado Concrete Finishers Edition. Glove compartment full of Vicodins. Breathalyzer because he had 5 DUIs.
Yeah.
He's divorced but has a new chick and owes $60,000 in child support. Bad at life but great at troweling concrete.
I love the fact that the breathalyzer.
It's either an old white lady driving it or a drug dealer. Hard to tell, but dark tint is a clue. The Real Rig Series 2005 Ford Crown Victoria. Authentic body-on-frame build lets you swap the chassis under any old piece of crap, just like the real thing. Comes with old lady and drug dealer Ford Crown.
Hold on. He made a couple more the Ultima ones.
I gotta send that one to a couple
This guy's
people.
awesome.
He had a couple more.
That's even better than the Alabama Man SNL skit.
Oh yeah, Alabama Man. Hold on. There's another one where it was a ghetto chick with the Altima. Hold on, where's another one? It was hilarious. My first house.
I didn't realize Altimas was a thing, and then I saw some reference to it, something completely outside of what we do, and I thought, holy crap, it's creeping into society.
Yeah.
Big Ultima energy. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Where's the? Damn it! There's another Ultima one that was hilarious. The guy goes by Koi Cooter on Instagram.
Okay.
Where was it?
This guy.
Oh, he's not on YouTube.
I'll find it. There's a couple other Ultima ones that were pretty funny. Hold on, guys. Here, we'll watch this and then.
Important thing is when you become an immigrant, to think about, okay, I go to America because I want to use America for the great opportunities that America has in education, in jobs, creating a family, all of those kind of things. Then you have to think about, okay, if I get all of those things from America, then I have to give something back. you have a responsibility as an immigrant to give back to America and to pay back to America and to go and do something for your community for no money whatsoever. Give something back to after-school programs, Special Olympics, or whatever it is. Make this country a better place. The important.
Yeah, you didn't see Sonny Hostin try to grab his arm to tell him to stop. You know what I'm saying? Man, stupid. These freaking knuckleheads. But yeah, man, honestly, guys, that's the once you get rid of that victimhood complex, Secret, cook with me. Do you remember back in the day, for that little bit where you honestly had that, oh, I'm an American, I'm black, and I have it so hard. And then once you just got rid of that mentality, how freeing it was.
Well, see, I grew up in a housing project.
Yeah.
And I remember in the 80s, so I was there during a whole crack you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I found so alarming was how many grandmothers were on public assistance, their daughters were on public assistance, and the granddaughters who were my age and who I was trying to get with, their biggest aspiration was to get knocked up so they can get welfare.
Yep.
And so this whole plantation thing, all it did was teach people learned helplessness, and now they're pulling the rug out. So I had a different experience, and I remember, and I remember that vividly.
Yeah. Yeah.
A deep empathy for women's issues. We are at a crossroads. We do need a positive new vision of what men can be and what men can, and men need to be able to see that. I think that men can have a very central, very important role in, again, protecting women.
So you see, even when the left talks about helping men, they really mean helping men to help women. They simply do not care about actually helping men and enacting policies that benefit men.
Money in politics is the hands of oligarchy.
This is a
she's a millionaire
word, oligarch. What the f knows what an oligarch is?
Intersectionality of feminism.
People who might not know what intersectionality really means.
Don't use words like intersectionality. The LGBTQ community. I wouldn't even use the LBGQT plus or whatever it is. LGBTQ Americans. Just call people gay, the lesbian, or trans. Just use the word that is most commonly used among people.
Now, a fair bit of criticism would be, are the Republicans that much better? No, of course not. Since this right here is an absolutely useless Republican who should have been immediately replaced over 2,000 years ago when he first took office. And this warmongering lunatic is another worthless Republican who cares more about foreign wars and foreign interests than he cares about American people. So there are plenty of problems on the Republican side as well. However, if you have to choose between a party that makes mistakes and will argue with you at the table versus a party that literally does not want you at that table.
So I think we have a problem with young men, right?
Pretty much, right? Guys, here, I'm going to show you this, and then we'll shut it down. Guys, watch this, because I didn't even see this story. Watch. Watch.
An American basketball player possibly faces the death penalty or a lengthy prison sentence after being arrested in Indonesia on drug charges.
This has to be one of the dumbest freaking things I've ever seen anyone do. You're going to FO in Indonesia? In Indonesia, guys, did you see those 5 Australian guys in the last couple years who got caught with drugs, and they already executed 3 of them.
Damn.
Their trial and everything happened.
Singapore does the same thing.
Yeah, cooked.
35-year-old Jared Shaw used to play in the Indonesian Basketball League for the Tanger Hawks. That was until May, when reports say he received a package in the mail from Thailand containing 132 cannabis gummies. Cannabis is decriminalized in Thailand, but not in Indonesia, where some offenders have been sentenced to death by firing squad. In a recent interview with The Guardian, Shaw said he used the cannabis to treat his Crohn's disease, for which there is no cure. He added that he made a, quote, stupid mistake. And being held in detention for the past 5 months has caused him to go to a dark place mentally. After
Are they
the
going to trade someone for him? Of course not, right, guys?
Trade Kamala Harris for him.
arrest, Shaw's contract was terminated by the Tanger Hawks, which said in a statement he violated the league's strict no drug use policy in his contract. The team also found him guilty of violating professional ethics and discipline standards. The case is eerily similar to that of Brittany Griner, the American basketball player sentenced to prison in Russia after she was found with vape cartridges in her luggage at an airport. She was returned to the U.S. in a prisoner swap after 10 months in detention. A friend has set up a GoFundMe page to help Shaw get legal representation. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Mara Montalbano.
Don't be this guy.
This is the perfect. So I always tell people, as a man, we know no one's coming to save us.
Yep, facts.
And he's the perfect representation of that. Who's coming to save him?
Yep. It's crazy, right?
Just the arrogance too. Like, it's just like you're a guest in someone else's country and you're not abiding by the local rules. Like, it's just like, what do you think? Like, you think your money's going to get you out of these issues? I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Well, he didn't have a lot of money because he was playing in Indonesia.
Oh,
it's not like he has a lot of money or anything, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but all right, guys. Anyone else have anything on the topic? I mean, guys, here. So before we end, guys, do you think, like, where do you think this is, like, is the left is cooked? Where do you see things, and do you think there's any way that the left could ever win you back?
No.
Korg, secret.
No way.
Korg.
They've been hijacked by the extreme left lunatics. They would have to go back to being the Harry Truman Democrats. You know, those are the people that really wanted to do good for the working individual. When Harry Truman wanted to give people national health insurance, to me, I see that as a good thing if we're taking care of the folks at home. But all they want is these special exceptions for people who think they're super special and need special treatment and white gloves. And no, not until they come back to reality. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
I like the, quite frankly, guys, I'm not sure this is good to say, but it's like, I kind of like the term white lash in Europe. Someone on the BBC coined this and said that you're going to experience a white lash because all of the white people in Europe have had enough.
Oh, white people here have had
it.
Especially Gen young Gen Z and Gen A.
Yeah.
Guys, guys, I'm glad.
They're based, man.
If we look at forced doctrine, because we talk about, if men decided to take women's rights away, there's nothing that they can do about it. Guys, in the UK, if white people wanted to take minorities' rights away, there's nothing they can do about it. In the United States, I'm sorry to say it, but if white people banded together and said blacks, browns, Hispanics have no rights, guess what? We're cooked. I'm sorry. Like, hey, oh no, AJ, you said the quiet part out loud, guys. You cannot antagonize those that are being benevolent, or that benevolent goes away real fast.
This is where it gets dangerous. This is when you get you could actually get real evil people.
Yes.
Into that bit, and they say the right things, and you get them in. This is why I can't stand these people talking about Big T, Orange Man, and saying that he's a this, he's a that, and I'm like, guys, you have no idea. Like, it's Hopefully not. Hopefully we can change it around.
Damn, they said 80. Here, guys. I gotta do one more thing, guys. Okay. if I say 18-year-old in coma after spending less than 24 hours at Oklahoma County Jail, guys, what do you think this person looks
Some sort of sea animal.
No. Guys, honestly, 18-year-old left in a coma after only being in the jail for 24 hours. Guys, what do you think this person looks like? Seriously.
Surround what sent an 18-year-old to the hospital with a traumatic brain injury because he had spent less than a day in the Oklahoma County Jail.
And the next time his family saw him, he was in the hospital. News 4's Lauren Henry spoke with the young man.
You know, she's about 15, 20 years past the wall. You know what I'm saying? But
presentable.
Smash.
A pair of titties make you want to stand up and beg for buttermilk.
Mother.
Antonio Hendricks spent less than...
She can get it too. How you doing? You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Hey, guys. Korg, Secret, Anonymous. Guys, put a 1 if you've seen Aliens, the movie Aliens.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay? Do you guys remember where he's like, Marines, we are leaving? Remember that?
Yeah.
Guys, he says, Drake, we are leaving. Yo, I watched that. That's in my top 4 favorite movies of all time. Dude, guys, I did not know that because remember Drake had his had the big gun and he runs out of bullets and he's using a flamethrower. He's bringing up the rear. So he's falling behind and then Hicks turns and goes, Drake, we are leaving. I was like, dude, what the? I've been watching this movie since the 80s and I did not know that, So anyways, I digress. So
in 24 hours at the Oklahoma County Jail. Now he's in a coma, fighting for his life. His family still searching for answers.
My primary question is what happened to my son and who did it.
According to court documents, Antonio Hendricks was pulled over for...
Oh my God.
You know what put him in a coma? That mouth of his did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Improper lane use near Southeast 44th and Sunny Lane. Police ended up arresting Hendricks after finding a gun in his waistband. They say he also didn't have a valid driver's license. We requested the body cam footage of the moments Oklahoma police officers took Hendricks into custody. It appears he is talking and walking normally. We know he made it to the county jail where this mugshot was taken.
The last call we received from Antonio was about 11:45 a.m. The next call I received was at 6:14 p.m. saying that my son was in intensive care at SSM Midtown.
According to Mark Opgrand with the Oklahoma County Jail, Hendricks was booked into the jail at 7:15 Friday night. Hendricks' mother, Clovia Long, says the family paid the 18-year-old's bond that evening.
That jail had told us that they can have a 24 to 48-hour process to process him out.
Normally, this is what Hendricks looks like. The next time his mother saw him, he was hospitalized.
Antonio has heavily been sedated, placed in a coma. He's doing better. They didn't find any more bleeds in the brain.
Bleeds in the brain. Someone stomped him out.
Well, yeah, I was thinking that 11
I'm just saying he was probably talking mess to the wrong COs or to the wrong nugs in jail. You know what I'm saying?
Well, she said they
took care of business. Katie, you are correct. I don't ever think equipment should ever be firefighters or whatever. They should be police, meaning like they should be there to search female suspects.
Yep.
And maybe de-escalate, maybe, but other than that, nope. But all right, guys, I'm gonna shut this bad boy down, guys. We're at 27,000, almost 27,300, man. So on to 28, then on to 30, man.
You're up 1,000. You're up 1,000 since you last talked.
I'm at 27,264. right.
Last time I talked to you was like 26. Damn. Dude.
Yeah, dude. The channel's going, guys. And I have an hour-long compilation. No, a 2-hour-long compilation of the 50-year-olds whining about dating. It's 2 hours of my old videos all put together, because I know some of you guys haven't seen the old ones, but it's 2 hours long. So I actually have a couple of those that are going to be coming out. I'll probably drop that Friday morning, guys. But it's 2 hours long, so you guys can have that. That'll be on Friday. And guys, on Sunday, Matt offered to come on to talk about addictions and everything, right? So guys, on Sunday, no, hold on. I'll be out of town on Sunday. Here, I'll talk to Matt and see when I can have my, maybe I'll do it Saturday night instead of Sunday night, because I'll be driving for worship on Sunday. So maybe, guys, Thursday or Saturday, sometime soon, I want to do a thing about addictions, guys, especially
that's
alcohol, smoking, guys, gambling, addiction, guys. Everyone in this chat, I guarantee at least 2 or 3 people that are addicted to gambling.
Well, I dated someone that was addicted to gambling.
Yep.
Guys, sports betting, the casinos on your phones where you can just, guys, gambling is everywhere. It's one of, and no one talks about it either. It's insane, man.
I know a bunch of Chinese people up here, and they're so many of them addicted to gambling.
Guys, there's a video called "Why Asians Are Addicted." Why Asians can't stop gambling? Can't stop gambling. Here, and I'll drop it in the chat. But guys, I'll let you guys know when that'll be. Cool. Guys, I want to have a large panel for that, because guys, please, there are things, guys. Don't even. This is how I did my fair share of stuff in college. Mushrooms, pot gives me headaches, so I didn't really smoke any pot, but minor stuff, right? But anytime that I was at a party and there was any powders or injectables coming, I just leave. I leave. Guys, there's nothing wrong with having a beer or shot of booze every now and then, hit the bong every now and then. Because anytime that major stuff comes out, stuff that you can't do recreationally, fentanyl, heroin, stuff, guys, just leave. Guys, it can happen to anyone, especially when it comes to fentanyl. It's not even about an addictive personality. Guys, fentanyl is made to get you hooked. It's made to make you an addict.
First taste always free.
Yeah, guys, just don't do it. I'm not the moral police. I'm not even saying it from a moral perspective. I'm just saying, guys, nothing will ruin your life faster.
I've lost 2 cousins from that stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's no joke, guys.
Yeah.
It's no joke.
Yep. A girl who used to do the trivia that I used to go to, her husband, who was a rip-roaring, rootin' alcoholic for years, and now he's totally clean. He goes to AA, and it's still crazy because they would have parties at their house. He would be mixing drinks and serving drinks, but he just can't drink because he knows that if he takes another drink, his life is over. He said that it took years for them to figure out his bad credit and his tickets and all the stuff that he was behind on and collections because
you get DUIs. DUIs will ruin your life.
Yep.
Crazy.
So.
But we'll save that for the.
Right. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Take it easy, guys.
Bye.
Take it easy, man.